a difference in the world. This is a time where the political energy is really strong, and also at the end of the day, it's wealth. Wealth is what matters more than politics. Wealth matters more than emotionality and all this other stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you are powerful and wealthy, then you don't have anything to worry about. And so let's just go ahead and jump right in and get started. Julian, did you
Yeah.
have anything to say before we get started, or you want
No,
me to
I'm
just
just
go ahead
excited
and
to
jump
be
out?
here, man. I can't wait to teach, and I know we have what thousands and thousands of people signed up, and hopefully everybody can get in and can hear. Let us know in chat if you can hear us, whether you are here in Zoom or on YouTube. Let us know if you can hear us. Go ahead and type B1. Ain't that the call to action here?
There you go. Hashtag B1. Hashtag B1 means
Hashtag B1.
that we are black first. Hashtag B1 also means that we must be one to be successful.
Mm.
Hashtag B1 means that we be number one. So black people are the greatest. That we can't be stopped. We are extraordinary.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, at the end of the day, all this stuff goes back down to wealth. I just talked to Dr. Claude Anderson today, and you all are the first ones to hear this, but for years, we've been talking to Dr. Claude Anderson about coming in and doing a program in the Black Business School. And finally, his wife is okay with that. He's actually feeling better now. And he said, I'm ready to go. And he said, I want to be a part of the Black Business School. So Dr. Claude Anderson will be joining us very soon. I will keep you guys posted when we do this. And he won't just come on the podcast, but he's actually going to do a special session or a series of special sessions, like a master class. So I'll keep you guys informed on that. All right, so let's get started. Let's just jump right in. And this is special stuff because this is not stuff you learn on college campuses. This is not. I know some of y'all might have spent $100,000 going to college, or 200,000 or something like that. But that is you probably didn't learn things like this because this is where the revolution is happening. This is where wealth is being built, and your teachers are people that know how to actually do it. So Julian and I, Jullien Gordon, he is Mr. Multifamily. That's a name that people have given him. He's just a good brother, and we do something called the Emancipation Equation. We've done this for maybe 2 or 3 years now. I think I met Julian in 2017 when we were shooting our film, The Black Love Blueprint. Because as you know, around here we are bosses, we are building things, and we were shooting a movie, and the movie has done really well since that time. The movie's been seen by over 1 million people. I don't know if I mentioned that to you, Julian, and that,
No,
but
I didn't know. That's huge.
yeah, man. That film is done really well, and it was actually number 4 out of about 800 different movies on Quayle TV. Quayle TV, KWELI. Quayle is the Black Netflix. The Black Love Blueprint was ranked number 4, right next to Hidden Colors and stuff like that. So
Wow.
we are building an industry. We're building all kinds of industries, whether it's real estate, filmmaking, all kinds of stuff, because Black people do it best. So let's just get going. Let's move forward. I'm gonna scoot through this real fast because what I did, who I am, doesn't matter tonight. What matters is real estate. And so you guys may or may not know me, but I am Dr. Boyce Watkins. These are a few things we've created throughout the years. You guys know a little bit about my background. Maybe you don't. I'll brief you real quick. I taught at Syracuse University, and that wasn't fulfilling for me. Working for people wasn't really something that really worked for me. Also, I wanted to make sure that the great things I was teaching those kids that were going down to Wall Street, and I'm teaching all these financial experts how to go out into the world and do whatever they were doing. I wanted to bring it back to the community. So that's when we created the Black Business School. And right behind me is the Panther named Felicia, named after my grandmother, who was the first person to introduce me to financial literacy. So we have a lot of Felicias in the building. Type Felicia in the chat if you get this. Let's do an ashe to my grandmother, because Felicia, type Felicia in the chat, because a lot of y'all are Felicias. Some of y'all are male Felicias. Some of you are female Felicias, because you're going to be the Felicia for your children. You're going to say something to your children and your grandchildren so that in the year 2070, 2080, 2100, they're going to be doing amazing things. So if you don't mind, thank you for indulging me with that. If we could just type Felicia in the chat so my grandmother will join us from heaven and be here with us tonight, so we can do the best job that we can do to continue these extraordinary legacies of the ancestors who cleared it up and made things great for us. The one thing that changed everything for me was financial education. That was more important than any form of education that I ever got in my life. And the information allowed me to free a lot of people. We've educated, it says over 80,000 in the Black Business School. We got to update that slide. We're up to 117,000 students in the
Mhm.
Black Business School worldwide. You see, we were packing arenas or entire buildings with people because we're making a difference. We've been able to democratize the process, and we're reaching several million people every single month. In fact, one of our YouTube channels just hit 400,000 subscribers, and that's just one of many channels that we have. That's not the only one. And so we're building media. We're also building an HBCU for the future that was built for COVID-like conditions before COVID ever came along. So when COVID came along, we were already ready for that. We've also been able to teach a lot of different paths to freedom. The abilities to make money and to get out of the struggle, to get away from strugglenomics. It's not that complex. There aren't that many pathways that rich people use, and we know them all, and we've broken all of them down. We've partnered with lots of experts in the Black community. We do surveys with you guys. We find out what you like and what's stopping you, right? Because we want to understand you. So, for example, we found out that lack of time, that procrastination, a lack of money and capital, lack of knowledge, mentorship, self-doubt, and fear can stop you from doing the things you really want to do. And here are the things you really want to do. You want to learn to invest in the stock market. Well, I wrote my dissertation on that. So we've literally gotten over 1 million people invested in the stock market. Real estate investing, that's where Julian is absolutely killing the game. There's so many great people in the community doing great work in that area. Julian's right there at the top of that pile. Entrepreneurship, which owning businesses and becoming a producer, incredibly important for your wealth. And even things like cryptocurrency, looking at things for the future. We're onto all of this. And so we're constantly adjusting. We're constantly navigating the waters to solve the Black wealth problem. The Black wealth equation is basically one that says that we have a wealth gap and we're going to fix this. We're going to fix it ourselves. Joe Biden ain't going to do it. We're going to do it. And so if you look at wealth, most Americans become wealthy because of real estate. With real estate and stock market investing. Home ownership rates for Black people, in 2016, it was 41.7% for Black people. We believe it should be higher. If we own more of our homes, it's harder to gentrify people who own the land on which they stand. So ownership is one of our key guiding principles. You must own things. So everybody type ownership in the chat. If you agree, type ownership in the chat so we can make sure we're on the same page. Physically type ownership, the word ownership in the chat. In 2017, 19.3% of Black applicants were denied a conventional home loan. So that meant that we had to figure out ways to get around these processes that are blocking some of us from fulfilling our dreams. That's where people like Jullien Gordon come into play because they know how to get access to real estate. And also when you look at refinancing markets, things like that, there are all these little gaps, right? These gaps, we can talk about the gaps all day, we can talk about the problems all day, but let's not talk about the problems. Let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about how we can actually get things done and make things better. So my first interaction with real estate was bad. I had my grandparents, Elma and Matt. This is on the other side of my family, my father's side of the family. This is a picture of them back in the day. They were a beautiful, nice, light-skinned couple that lived out in the white neighborhoods. They were the first Black families to integrate a lot of their neighborhoods. Now those neighborhoods have deteriorated after the war on drugs and mass incarceration. They had a house that was there for maybe about 50 years. But when they moved in, they were proud because they were light-skinned and middle class and they were living around white folks, right? Which we know now, those are not the values that we carry into the 21st century, but that's all they knew in the 1930s and the 1940s. Well, they lost their house. They had this house for 50 years. They lost it to predatory lending. This house, I grew up in this house. I would go to this house all the time when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, all the way and beyond. And that was also the house where my grandmother actually developed Alzheimer's. And my grandfather, being the real man that he was, though, he took care of that lady all the way up until the day she died. He took care of her for 10 years, even though she couldn't even remember the names of her kids. He carried her to the bathtub. He took care of her all the way up until the day she died. My grandfather is now about 95 years young and he's still alive and kicking. So that's the story of my family. So stories like this really kept a lot of people from investing in real estate. I'll say with myself, I would say that this story wasn't necessarily the main thing that kept me from investing in real estate. It was really more so procrastination. But then I saw guys like Jullien Gordon and what Julian was doing. And I met Julian in 2017 when we were in Brooklyn shooting the film The Black Love Blueprint. And Julian, he said, "Hey, would you like to have a meeting?" I said, "Sure." And I said, "But I got to go to the airport." He said, "Let me give you a ride to the airport." So he met us the next day, me and Alicia. He figured out what our favorite kind of coffee was, and he had the coffee waiting. And we got in the car and we rode to the airport, and we had a great conversation. And I said, "I like this guy. I respect him. I have a great feeling about this discussion. So I think we should do business." And we did. And then he became eventually our dean of real estate. He's very smart. He went to Stanford. He has an MBA from Stanford, UCLA. So he went to all the big white schools and could be out making the big white money. But instead, he chose to come to his community, which is really where the power is at. You used to think that the power was in leaving your people. Actually, the power is coming back to your people. And so Julian, after watching Julian do his thing, I went ahead, Alicia and I went ahead and bought a rental property. And this is a rental property we own right in Chicago, right on the south side, near the black folks, near the University of Chicago. It stays rented because everybody wants to live in that building, and it also the tenant pays our rent. Or excuse me, we don't have rent. Our tenant pays the mortgage. We don't pay rent. We pay the mortgage. The tenant covers the mortgage for us. So that was our first rental property, and we're very happy to have that. And so now we're about to begin the Emancipation Equation weekend, and I'm going to hand the keys over to Julian, and I'm just going to say that I respect this brother immensely. I'm very, very happy to work with him. It's an absolute honor. And I really encourage you to take notes, grab a pen, turn everything off, turn off your notifications, focus, 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 because this brother can change your life. So without further ado, Julian, I'll hand the keys over to you.
Thank you so much, Chief. I'm so glad to be here. Let me see if I can share my screen. Oh, yeah, I got screen sharing privileges. Awesome. What's going on, everybody? How are you? I hope you're well. I'm so excited that you were here this evening. You could be Netflixing and chilling and building Netflix as well. But instead, you were here focused on yours, and that actually means a lot. So I'm so grateful for you. You could be doing anything else, but you're focused on your financial future, and a lot of people simply aren't. And so that says a lot about you and what you're committed to. And I can't wait to guide you through this process called the Multifamily Master Plan to show you how to do this yourself. All right. So welcome to the Emancipation Equation. My name is Jullien Gordon. Obviously, you know Dr. Watkins from following him on social media. He stays in your feed daily. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jullien Gordon. They know me as Mr. Multifamily, and I'll give you a little quick background. My purpose is to free 300 people like Harriet Tubman to pursue their purpose through entrepreneurship in multifamily real estate. Harriet Tubman, as you know, she was the #1 conductor on the Underground Railroad, and over the course of a decade, she freed about 300 people by making 19 trips below the Mason-Dixon line. For me, that's my ancestor spirit. That's who I channel. And for me, I believe that multifamily real estate is the above ground railroad. Okay. It is right there in plain sight. It's been there this whole entire time, but we've been looking at real estate from an aesthetic standpoint instead of an economic standpoint. We begin getting duped by shows like HGTV in terms of what we should look for when it comes to real estate. And that is absolutely wrong. We're going to talk about that a little bit more tonight. My professional background when it comes to real estate is that I built a $4.1 million real estate portfolio with 10 multifamily homes and 30 doors. Doors also mean units or apartments. So I have 10 buildings with 30 apartments, and they generate about $36,000 per month in rents. And I did all of that in just 6 years on the side. This was not my core business. This is not where I started. I was originally speaking at colleges and corporations, and I was taking what I was earning from that, and I was putting it into real estate, and my real estate portfolio kept growing, and people started asking me how I was doing it, and that's how I ended up here in front of you tonight. My real estate portfolio returns 13.83% annually. The S&P 500, if you look at it over the past, real quick, how many took hits in your stock market portfolio over the past 4 months? How many took hits? Let me know in chat. How many took hits? A lot of folks, right? So the S&P 500, a lot of people don't know. They think that the stock market grows by 10% every single year, but that's really not the truth. The S&P 500 since the year 2000 has only grown by 4.23%. By 4.23% annually. So the asset class that we're showing you tonight, as Dr. Watkins always preaches, is diversify, diversify, diversify. The asset class that I'm showing you tonight actually has 3 times what the stock market has performed in over the past 20 years. All right. So my properties are appreciated by 19.48%, and I'm founder of the Freedom School and the multifamily movement. And I want to be very clear that I am not a licensed real estate agent, and you do not have to be one either in order to invest in multifamily real estate. You do not have to be a licensed real estate agent to be a real estate investor. Is that clear? Everybody type clear in the chat if you understand that. Type clear if you understand that. You do not have to be a licensed real estate agent to be a real estate investor. I don't know where people get that from. There's no test you have to pass. You just have to know how to play the game. All right. So I'm sure you've been on some boring webinars before. Tonight we're gonna have fun. We're gonna go on a roller coaster ride, and I'm gonna open this up with something a little bit different. I'm gonna open it up with a poem. Now you probably never heard of a poem on a webinar before, but you know I'm homeschooling my daughter, and when you think about how children learn, they learn through song and rhyme. And I understand multifamily real estate in so much detail and all the vocabulary that I can weave it into a poem to help you understand why you need to own ASAP. So I'm gonna kick it off with the multifamily poem. Why don't we hack houses like frat houses where everyone living good for just a few thousand? Some will say it's lousy while they slaving proudly, spending 1/3 of their revenue to pay for housing. Living on your own, but you don't own ish. Can't even get a loan, student debt is up. Thinking a higher wage is the way to get rich. Not if your living expenses rise directly with it. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, deep in debt till you croak. I'm gonna live just like the Jeffersons, pretend that I'm broke. Then I'll buy a multifamily, let the rents pay the note. Perhaps you could be my tenant. Yo, that would be dope. I keep my cost of living low along with my blood pressure. Cause if you're always stressing, it's hard to enjoy pleasure. The man with the most is not the one who wins the race. It's the man with his soul who could look at his own face. 40 acres and a mule is what they taught us in school. I'd rather have 40 apartments and a big money pool. Leverage credit to capital and capital to cash flow. Cash is not king because the interest too low. Some call me a do-gooder. I got good deeds in my name. As the lord of my land, I'll never be a slave. You can dabble in stocks, lose your shirt and your socks, but the demand for housing will never ever stop. Assets, assets, assets. Passive, passive, passive. These are the two keys to amass wealth quick. But quick is really relative. It's a long-term game. Who you hustling for, your first or your last name? Bars. Bars. All right. See, we love rhyme. We so soulful as Black people, right? So hopefully you were able to catch everything that I was dropping. Every line in this poem has absolute power. It has wealth consciousness embedded into it. But the reality is based on where you are or where you are on your journey, you probably didn't catch everything that I shared. For instance, cash is not king because the interest is too low. You've been told that cash is king for your entire life. But the reality is cash is not king. Cash is actually pawn. Did you know that cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world? I'm going to repeat that. Cash is the lowest yielding asset in the entire world. In your bank account at Bank of America, your cash is only yielding 0.03% interest. Using the rule of 72, you take 72 divided by 0.03, and you'll find that it will take you 2,400 years to double your money in a Bank of America savings account. The asset class that we're showing you tonight at the bare minimum should yield at least 12%. 72 divided by 12 is 6 years. So we're trying to show you how to double your money every 6 years, not every 2,400 years. You know that the bank is robbing you. Literally, the bank is robbing you. They're taking money from you, giving you 0.03%, and then giving it back to you as a 3%, 4% mortgage on a single family home. The bank is robbing you, but you don't understand it. You heard in the Bible, don't give your pearl to swine. Don't give your pearl to swine. What does that mean? It means don't give your pearls, which is your money, to swine, which is the banks. Remember, what did they have you put your money in when you were a little kid? What did they have you put your money in when you were a little kid? It was called a what? A piggy bank. Don't give your pearls to swine. That's the worst thing you can teach your child because you're training them and you're programming them to give their money to a bank, to swine. Okay? So we have to learn how to teach our money to work for us. Every George Washington you have, you know George Washington has slaves, right? George Washington had slaves. So you think if I have George Washington on a dollar bill, you think I'm just gonna let him sit around and be lazy? No, I'm gonna work him just like he worked our ancestors. I'm gonna work him extremely hard, okay? I don't want him just sitting around earning 0.03%. That's like him sitting around just flipping through TV channels. No, you want your money to work for you. It's called dead presidents, and your responsibility as a steward of money is to resurrect those dead presidents, to give them life by investing them in ideals, ideas, individuals, and institutions that you believe in, and acquiring assets. So this is about being a good steward of money. And some of you wonder why you don't have money because you haven't been a good steward of money. You haven't been a good steward of money. When you're a good steward of money, more money flows to you. So the better you get at investing in the right things, the more money that will flow to you. It's just how it works, okay? So I'm gonna share with you my actual portfolio. I'm gonna be very transparent with you tonight. I wanna give you the game. This is my actual portfolio, okay? This is my portfolio, and I want you to know that I've never made a mortgage payment in my entire life, and I control all of these properties. The moment I bought that first property in Brooklyn in 2013, May 2013, the rents from the second and the third floor covered the principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate. So I control all of these properties, and I've never made one payment directly to them from my own pocket. The rents have covered all of them. So I bought that first triplex in Brooklyn. That's when I achieved rent and mortgage freedom. Rent and mortgage freedom. And then it took some time for me to get a grasp of what it meant to actually own. I was younger then. And then I bought my next property here in New Orleans, where 8 of my properties are today. And as you can see, in 2019, I acquired 7 properties with 25 apartments, all in 1 year. All in 1 year. Okay, so we have to change our identity from just, I want to be a home buyer. I need everybody here to type real estate investor. Type real estate investor. Type real estate investor in chat. Stop thinking, I want you to erase this idea out of your mind. You just want to be a home buyer. Over the course of a 80-year life, everybody can buy a home. Okay, that's not something to achieve. I don't care if you even grew up renting. That's not something to achieve, because I know that you can do that over the course of 80 years. What we need to become, and we need to think beyond being a home buyer, we need to become real estate investors. And the purpose of this webinar is not for you just to get one property. It's for you to build an entire portfolio. So the next thing I need you to type is portfolio. Type portfolio. Stop thinking about getting one property. Yes, that is the beginning, and that property has to be bought right, and it does set everything off, but you need to have a portfolio of real estate, not just a property. Okay? So we're changing the mindset here. It said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your what? Your mind, right? Now, our leaders have been telling this over and over and over again. Farrakhan says, we have to have land, start buying up your community. Then Dr. King, this is why they killed Dr. King, not because he was some kumbaya person and he was doing some sit-ins. Or no, when King started talking about us having land and going to the federal government to get land because they were giving land to poor white folks all over the country, and giving them land grant institutions, that's when King got killed. Okay, this was his I have a plan speech, not his I have a dream speech. He didn't get killed for that. He got killed for his I have a plan speech, and that plan included us having land. Okay, so having land is the most dangerous thing that a Black person could do. Not dangerous to us, dangerous to the system and the powers that be. Okay, now land alone is not enough, because a lot of us still want our 40 acres and a mule. But the reality is most of y'all don't even know how to take care of the plants in your house. Most of y'all got kids who brought home fish from the school fair, and the fish lasted how many days? Who got the record for how long the fish lasts? How long that fish lasts, y'all? 1 day, 23 days. You done bought the tank, you done bought food, you done bought things to design the tank, the blue rocks, you bought everything, and the fish lasted 3 days. So we talk about we want 40 acres and a mule, and none of y'all know how to grow nothing. You don't know how to take care of land. You don't know how to take care of animals. You can't take care of a goldfish. How you gonna take care of a cow? Like, let's be real. So we don't just need 40 acres, right? I'd rather have 40 apartments than 40 acres. I'd rather have 40 apartments than 40 acres, all right? So today I'm gonna talk to you about the above ground railroad, right? Again, multifamily real estate is above ground. Harriet Tubman, she was on the Underground Railroad. She had to move in secret. But what did Harriet Tubman move through? She moved through safe houses. You see, real estate has been part of our journey the entire time. She was going from safe house to safe house to safe house. Well, guess what? The safest house that you can have is a piece of multifamily property. That is the safest house you can have in today's age, and you don't have to hide. Okay, it is the above ground railroad. It is right there before us. Okay, so real estate, multifamily real estate, not single family real estate, multifamily real estate is the above ground railroad. Now, you've heard me say it a couple times, rent and mortgage freedom. That's what I'm going to show you tonight. And when I bought that first property in Brooklyn, I immediately achieved rent and mortgage freedom. For most of us here, our rent or our mortgage takes up at least 1/3 of all of the money that comes into our household, 35%. Now imagine you acquiring one single piece of property, and immediately, the moment you close on that property and move in, you no longer have a housing expense for the rest of your life. What would change for you if you no longer had a housing expense for the rest of your life, y'all? What would change for you? What would change for you? Everything. Everything. Travel more. Finances. I would invest now. Financial freedom. Life. More cash. Peace of mind. Everything. Entrepreneurship. More property. Freedom. Pay off debt. Lifestyle. Enjoyment. None of y'all want to spend time with your families? No, none of y'all want to spend more time with your families? Y'all done been quarantined with your families and you realize you don't like the people you married to. You don't like your own kids. You can't wait to pay these teachers to come back, right? I'm just joking with y'all. I know this is who we doing it for, all right? So I haven't found one other decision. I don't care if it's going to college. I don't care what kind of career is it you chose. I haven't found one other decision that can have as great of impact on your life and your financial future than you acquiring a piece of multifamily real estate as quickly as possible. And this is accessible to all of us, okay? Now, when I talk about multifamily real estate, what am I talking about? I'm not talking about those 60-unit buildings that you see when you drive down the freeway, okay? What I'm talking about is 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes. Okay, 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes. Okay, once you get to 5 units or more, that becomes a commercial property. That's a different financing process. Now, there are only 2.6 million of these homes in the United States. They only make up 18% of the rental supply. Okay, what's powerful about 2-family, 3-family, and 4-family homes, also known as duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, is that the same financing that you would use, the same financing process you would use to buy a single family home is the same financing process you would use to acquire a duplex, triplex, or fourplex. Same documents, same lender, everything, okay? In fact, watch this, y'all. You actually qualify for more money when you buy a multifamily home than you do for a single family. Because watch this. Let's say you make $40,000, right? If you're going for a single family home, all they will qualify you for is based on that $40,000. But if you buy a multifamily home, watch this. They take all the rents from that building, let's say it's $4,000. They multiply that by 75%, which makes it $3,000. That's how much income you would have per month, right? They multiply that by 12 months, which is $36,000. They add that $36,000 on top of your $40,000, and now they're using $76,000 of income to qualify you for that property. So when you buy a multifamily home, you actually qualify for almost twice as much real estate than you do when you buy a single family home. You almost qualify for twice as much. This is the power of multifamily real estate. This is when people have been sleeping on it, all right? Now, if you buy a 3-family or a 4-family in the right way, you can achieve rent and mortgage freedom. It's a little hard to achieve rent and mortgage freedom with just a duplex because usually one side of the duplex cannot cover the full principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair, reserve, and vacancy rate. Okay, but with a triplex, which I did in Brooklyn, or a fourplex, you can typically get to rent and mortgage freedom and never have a housing expense for the rest of your life. Okay, now this is one of the most recession-proof assets you can acquire in your lifetime. These gray bars represent the last 2 recessions. And what do you notice? This blue line represents rents. What happens to rents in the midst of a recession, y'all? What do you see? What happens to rents in the midst of a recession? They increase. Wait a second, Julian, the economy seems like it's going down. Why would rents increase? Well, here's what happens. In every economy, there are permanent renters, there are renters who are looking to buy, and then there are single family buyers. And when a single family buyer, one of them loses their home, loses their jobs, then they can no longer afford this house that they bought that was too big, and they become renters, okay? Or they get foreclosed on and become renters. And so now you have more people who want to rent, but the number of rental units has not increased. When demand goes up, but supply hasn't changed, what happens to price, y'all? When demand goes up, but supply has not changed, what happens to price? It's basic economics. Rents go up in the midst of an economic recession, y'all. Multifamily real estate is recession proof. A lot of people are, oh, Julian, what about your tenants and coronavirus, et cetera? During Corona, 26 out of 27 of my tenants paid. Why? How? Because I screen my tenants the right way. I make sure that they are in career paths that don't fluctuate with the economy. And guess what? You want to know something else? 1/3 of my tenants are actually on Section 8. So I get paid on time and online no matter what the economy is doing. And those Section 8 tenants, guess what? They cover 85% of all of my mortgages. Not just the mortgage of the property that they live in, 85% of all of my mortgages. So in the worst case scenario, if none of my market rate tenants paid whatsoever, I might have to come out of pocket $1,500 to $2,000 just to make sure that all my mortgages get paid. This is what Doc says when he means diversify. You don't just diversify your stocks, you also diversify your risk by diversifying your tenant base as well. Are y'all understanding what's going on here? So I'm secure, I'm straight, I'm set. And this is what I'm trying to teach you to do, right? So a lot of people worry about the down payment. Julian, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I want y'all to know that this American system is not against Black people. Yeah, I know this is the Black business school. This American system is not against Black people. You want to know how I know? Black people make up 14% of this country, yet 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The powers that be don't care what color you are. All they know is that they need to oppress other people in order for them to stay in power. And they don't care if you're Black, they don't care if you're white, they don't care for whatever you are in between. So I know we take it personal sometimes, why are they coming down harder on us? And they do come down harder on us, but they don't care. They don't care. So I know a lot of y'all are living paycheck to paycheck, okay? And so you're wondering, how can I ever save to make a down payment? Well, I got some good news for you. I'm gonna give you a living proof. This is my actual W-2 from 2012. I told you I purchased that property in Brooklyn in what year, y'all? What year did I purchase that property in Brooklyn? Purchased that property in Brooklyn in 2013. So this is the W-2 that they used to qualify me for that property that I bought in May of 2013. And I only made $36,000 in my business in 2012, okay? So I got qualified to buy a $937,000 home in Brooklyn off of $36,000. Now, could you do that today? No, because the properties in Brooklyn have raised. So $36,000 is probably on the low edge. I probably barely made it. You cannot probably, in New York, you cannot walk in the bank with $36,000 and try to buy a property there today, okay? But I got started when I wasn't making a lot of money. I got started in New York City, the most expensive market. I got started while I was an entrepreneur, and I got started within 3 years of economic recession. So stop making excuses, y'all. In fact, how many of you have been pre-approved, and say no if you've never been if you haven't been pre-approved, and type pre-approved if you have been. Type no if you have not been pre-approved, and type pre-approved if you have been pre-approved. I knew it. Look at this. All of you, most of you are saying no. And you know what that means? It means that you've taken yourself out of the game. You were sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else play, and you had no idea that you were qualified to play this entire time because you didn't go get pre-approved. Oh, Julian, it's going to hit my credit. You can have 5 lenders pull your credit in the context of a month without it negatively affecting your credit. It costs you nothing to go get pre-approved. Absolutely nothing. All you have to do is submit to the bank some documents, and they're going to send you back a number based on your credit, your cash flow, and your cash savings. And most of you have just sat on the sidelines because you took yourself out the game. Nobody even took you out of the game. It wasn't racism. It wasn't the white man. It wasn't nobody else. You never went to go get pre-approved. You thought in your own limiting belief that you couldn't afford it, so you took yourself out the game. You said, I can't even play. That's on you, nobody else. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming other people when you were letting your own limiting beliefs stop you. For those of you who went to get pre-approved, I'm happy for you. Good stuff. Now, the question is, when I go get pre-approved, did I get pre-approved for enough to buy in my market? That's a whole nother question. But if you've never got pre-approved, then that's on you. You took yourself out the game. The bank will pre-approve just about anybody. Again, it's about how much did I get pre-approved for, not whether or not you get pre-approved. The only people who pretty much can't get pre-approved right now is if your credit is just shot, like for less than 500, or you're unemployed. But otherwise, the bank is going to give you a number. It may be high, it may be low. But everybody's homework here today, okay? By next Tuesday is to go get pre-approved. That's everybody's homework. No excuses. No, but Julian, no excuses. Go get pre-approved. Is that clear? Please type clear. Please type clear. Okay. All right. Loud and clear. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. All right. So for all of you who've taken yourself out of the game, did you know that there are no money down programs out there? Did you know that there are no money down programs out there? No down payment, no closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration. These are not stock images. These are actually people that I know. That's Mark. He owns a duplex in Inglewood, California. That's the Roll family. They own a fourplex in Los Angeles. And that's Kevin. He owns a duplex in Brooklyn, New York. These people actually went through this program. So I just wanted to make this clear that your intellectual property, what you know, can actually get you physical property. But some of y'all just don't know enough. Okay? That program, I want you to all write this down, is NACA. NACA, no down payment, No closing costs, no points or fees, no credit score consideration, below market 30-year and 15-year fixed interest rates. NACA.com. So that whole narrative in your own head that I can't afford it, it has to be in your own head because you're saying I, right? I can't afford it. That narrative is officially gone, wiped clear. Don't ever say that again. Lies. You thought you couldn't afford it? That excuse is gone forever. Okay, until NACA doesn't exist, that excuse is gone for everybody who is here tonight. All right, so moving forward, your second option, if NACA doesn't work for you, is the government's FHA program. The government's FHA program is 3.5% down. This is the duplex that I own here, or that I control here in New Orleans, and it was $300,000 at 3.5% down. That's $10,500. So I can literally control this $300,000 asset for just $10,500. Okay, so that's the government's FHA program. All right. Now, some of you who bought single family homes already, I understand. Guess what? There are 5 ways to use FHA twice. For those of you who bought single family homes and feel stuck, there are 5 ways to use FHA twice. All right. So these are the things that we teach, right? Yes, FHA does allow multifamily. It does. Again, I don't know who tells you these lies that get you. Look, when you hear something once from a banker, from a realtor, from whoever, from me, go verify it, y'all. You hear it from one person that you can't use FHA for multifamily, and you take that as truth. Go verify everything. Google is at your fingertips. Y'all know how many kids Kanye West got, but you don't know if FHA can work for multifamily. Like, we are focused on the wrong things, y'all. Y'all know all the characters in Power and all kinds of stuff, but you don't know if you can get financed for a multifamily with FHA. And literally, that's a 5-second Google search away. Like, I'm just real confused. Like, where's our attention and our thought energy going to? Or do you really want to be wealthy, or you just want to talk about being wealthy? All right, let's keep it pushing, y'all. So the next thing is the monthly payment. Okay, the next thing is the monthly payment. Now, in United States, the average 2-bedroom costs $1,225. Okay, now the mortgage on a $218,000 home at 3.8% for 30 years with 3.5% down is literally $1,199. So it's actually less to own than it is to rent. But of course, we're not here to talk about owning single family today, but I'm just sharing with you that it's actually less to own than it is to rent. So if you've been paying rent on time, then guess what? You can make a mortgage payment on time. It just makes sense, right? You've been paying somebody else's mortgage. Why can't you now just pay your own mortgage, right? This is somebody who was on one of my webinars before, and she said, hey, Julian, I love your online seminar. I really wish I could join, but being a single working mom right now is what's preventing me from pursuing my dream. At this time, I pay $1,200 a month for 9 years, which is insane for rent to a slumlord who never fixes anything, and if he does, it is used. Now, look, y'all, here's what we do, and especially us as Black folk, and I can say this. We play victim. We blame everybody outside of ourselves for why we are in the condition that we are in. And whenever we blame, you know what we're doing? We're giving up our power. Because you know what we're saying to ourselves? We're saying that in order for me to be happy, in order for me to have heaven on earth, I need these people to change. I need the white man to change. I need Trump to change. I need this person to change. I need this person to, I need my boss to change. We need everybody else to change except for us. And so here, this particular individual is using the fact that she's a single mom for why she isn't, why she's still renting. Are there single moms who have bought multifamily real estate before, y'all? Yes or no? Just yes or no? Yes. So this is not a valid excuse. What we tend to do is we take whatever point of weakness we had, whether my dad wasn't there, or my mom was an alcoholic, or I didn't finish high school, or I'm a blue collar worker. We take whatever part of us that feels weak and vulnerable, and we use that as our crutch and our excuse for why we aren't experiencing the life that we desire. For those of you who are Christian, you heard what Jesus said. He said, pick up your mat and walk. Stop playing victim. Pick up your mat and walk. Some of you more enjoy getting consoled and being empathized with as opposed to being free. I'd rather be free than to have somebody bathe with me in my sorrow about not being free. So if we look at the numbers that this woman has paid, how long does a lease last, y'all? How long does a lease last? A lease lasts what? 1 year. She's been in this apartment for 9 years, a slumlord who does not care about her, who does not care about her family, who does not care about our community. She is literally given the oppressor $129,000 over the past 9 years, and that is without interest. How are we going to get free when we are giving our oppressor hundreds of thousands of dollars? Now, some of you are saying, ouch, wow, that's crazy. Real quick, I want you to get out your phone right now, and I want you to calculate how much rent you've paid since you've been quote unquote living on your own. See, in my family, we have a rule: no living on your own until you own something. You know that I had a roommate until I bought my multifamily. I had a roommate into my 30s until I bought my multifamily. We in our community, we trying to get away from home, and we trying, oh, look at me, I'm grown and I'm responsible because I'm living on my own. No, you're being economically ignorant. You're being economically ignorant, trying to run away from home. Stay in your mama's basement. Stack that bread so that you can step into ownership, not into renting. And we so funny. We renting right here, then our uncle's renting 4 blocks away, then our mama's renting 5 minutes that way, and our brother's renting across town. If we would have added up all that rent, we could have been living in a mansion all in separate wings. You could have been in the west wing, I could have been in the east wing, we could have been in the north wing, and you could have been in the south wing. We could have put all that money together to buy a mansion. Like, we so funny, like, oh, okay. Some of you got abuse in the family. Child abuse, things of that nature, those secrets that nobody talks about. I get it. Okay. I don't want you staying in the same household as a child abuser. I don't want your kids around a child abuser. But if you mad because your little brother stole your bike when you were 5 years old and that's why y'all don't talk, then y'all need to get over it and grow up. Y'all need to get over it and grow up. Oh, you was mama's favorite, this and that. You beat me up. Like, stop being petty and let's go build this wealth. You'll find that you start loving your family more when everybody is eating. All right. So let's keep it pushing, y'all. Now, in chat, please let me know, how much money do you pay in rent or mortgage? How much money do you pay in rent or mortgage? Type 1,000 rent or 1,000 mortgage. 1,100, 2,300, 1,300, 1,522, 2K, 1,300, 1036, 1765. 30. Wow. 650, 2,300, 1,600, 750. 800, 2,400, 1,602, 1,700. All right, y'all stop. Y'all making me sad. I want you to know that there are over 1,000 people on here right now. And if we just took 1,000, listen to this. Listen to this, y'all. There are over 1,000 people on here right now. And if we took 1,000 as the average, you are all paying over $1 million per month in rent or mortgage collectively. Just us right here tonight. Over $1 million is going out the door every single day because of us in this group right now. And we wonder why there's no black wealth is scarce. That's exactly why. All right. So watch this. If you could take that $1,000 instead of paying it to somebody else, right, to another culture, if you could keep that $1,000 and invest it at 5% annually every single month, if you could keep that $1,000 instead of it leaving your pocket to a bank or to a landlord, and you could invest that $1,000 at 5% for the next 40 years, does anybody know how much money you would have? How much money would you have if you could invest that? You'd all have $1.5 million over the next 40 years if you could literally just get your rent or mortgage expense off the table. You'd literally have $1.5 million if you could get your rent or mortgage expense off the table. So tonight we are showing you a proven path to become a millionaire, but I want to be very clear. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not a get rich quick scheme, but it is get rich guaranteed over time. It is get rich guaranteed over time. See, some of y'all are stuck in these expensive markets because family and things of that nature, family you don't even like. New York, let's say you graduated from college, moved to New York, you're paying rent of $2,000 a month, 12 months a year, and you stay there until you retire and you were never able to own in New York. Literally in New York, you will have paid $1 million in rent. You will have paid $1 million in rent because you were attached to an expensive market. This is why I'm here in New Orleans. I left New York. I came to a smaller secondary market where the prices are right. Y'all know that show, The Price is Right? Well, the price is right down south. Ain't that where our ancestors are taking care of the land? This land should be ours in my eyes. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you have to come down here. Just be clear. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. You can stay up north if you want. You can stay on the coast if you want. Your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Okay. So you can invest in New Orleans, in Birmingham, Alabama. You can invest in the South and not actually live there. Some of y'all own Amazon stock, never been to Seattle. Some of you own Apple stock, never been to Cupertino. Some of you own Nike stock, never been to Beaverton. So you know what it means for your money to not work in the same city as you do. So for those of you who are renters out there, I got to come at y'all real quick. And I just need to let you know that if you're a renter, you are homeless. If you are a renter, you are homeless. You see, subconsciously, you tell your mind, oh, this is my house. This is my apartment. But stop lying to yourself, y'all. Because when you tell your subconscious that, and your subconscious believes that you're safe, it is not your house. It is not your apartment. You are not on the title and you are not on the deed. Now, you want to have a dinner party after the quarantine is over and things like that nature. You want to put my apartment on the invitation. Stop lying to your friends and your family. This is your friends and your family. You ain't got to lie to kick it. You keep it real with them. Go ahead and come over to Tommy's house or come over to Sally's house because that's where I've been renting for the past 5 years. Let's just be honest about the situation. Stop lying. You over here painting the walls, putting up bookshelves, polishing the floors, you mowing the lawn, right? You taking out the garbage as if it's your house. And it's not. It is not. You knew that you were supposed to be temporarily renting to position yourself for ownership, but a lot of y'all just slipped into renter mentality. And now here you are, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years of renting, and you are still renting and have nothing to show for it whatsoever. When you moved in, you should have kept all your U-Haul boxes packed in the living room. Why would you go somewhere that you were staying temporarily and unpack? When I go travel on vacation, I never unpack my luggage because if I'm only going to be there for 4 days, why am I going to start hanging stuff up and putting things in drawers? I'm not getting comfortable there. I know that I'm leaving soon. But some of y'all got real comfortable. You bought furniture to fit certain nooks in this apartment that is not yours. Oh, but Julian, look at my views. I got coffee in the lobby. I got Thai food downstairs and Jamaican food right there and this and that. I don't care. Big ups to your landlord, but not big ups to you. I don't care where you located. I don't care what your view looks like. I don't care what's around you. Do you own it? That's my only question. Do you own it? If you don't own it, then I don't care. Stop fronting. Okay? So for those of you who are renting, I just got to be 100% or 100 with y'all. This is a homeless person who's actually sleeping on a bus bench tonight. They probably been through some physical trauma. They did some mental trauma, right? They probably have no money, no ID, no food, no address, no keys, no money whatsoever. And here they are sleeping on a bus bench. And here you are tonight with internet, computer, a smartphone worth over $1,000. Some of y'all got a lot of education. You got a good head on your shoulders. You got a job. You access Dr. Watkins in the Black Business School. And how is it that this homeless person who's actually sleeping on a bus bench owns as many properties as you do? Zero. Literally, there's a homeless person who's sleeping on a bus bench who's been through all kinds of drama, and they own as many properties as you do. Zero. How does that make sense? See, a lot of you got a lot of liberal arts education and you didn't get enough liberation arts education. You got liberal arts education, which you have to pay for, right? But you now need to get liberation arts education, which is education that frees you. That's why you were here tonight. There's no reason that this homeless person should own as many properties as you do. In fact, you want to know what's sad? You want to know what's really sad? This homeless person probably has a net worth of zero, no debt, no money, no assets. This homeless person has a higher net worth than a lot of you who are here tonight. This homeless person has a higher net worth than probably half of you who are here tonight. That makes me sick, y'all. That means you were caught up in the system, which they call the American dream, but it's not. Go to college, get in debt. Get a single family mortgage, get in debt. Have one source of income, dangerous, but 20 different bills. Doesn't make sense. That's what they call the American dream. It's actually the American nightmare. Okay. So for those of you who have single family homes, you ain't safe either. You know, the word mortgage literally means death pledge. If you take mort, the prefix, it has the same prefix as the word mortician. The word mortgage literally means death pledge, y'all. A lot of you have single family homes. You signed up for a 30-year death pledge and you've been on Instagram. Look at me, I'm a homeowner. No, you're not. Stop lying. You're a home buyer. You don't own the home. You didn't pay for it all in cash. The bank owns your home. Stop fronting. You've been watching too much HGTV. Okay. The reality is, you want to know the reality of that transaction, y'all? Watch this. Here's the reality of that transaction. The truth is that the bank buys your home and then it rents it to you for 30 years. You thought you weren't paying rent no more? You're not paying rent to a landlord. You're paying rent to the bank for the use of their money. So you are still paying rent, single family home buyer, okay? The interest on a $300,000 home with 3.5% down at 4% is $208,000. Over 30 years, divide that by 360 months. Guess how much rent all of you single family buyers are paying? $578 a month in rent to the bank to use their money. And I have not included private mortgage insurance, your property taxes, or your homeowner's insurance. So stop celebrating your single family home. I hope that it's appreciated to cover all the interest that you're paying. In fact, single family home buyers, you know, go look at your first mortgage payment. Your first mortgage payment on it, let's say it was $1,000, $700 of it went to interest, only $300 went to principal. So stop talking like you got an asset on your hands. It's impossible for that to be an asset when $700 is going towards interest and only $300 is going towards principal. I'm just calling it what it is. Okay, nobody's told it to you like this, right? So if you can pay rent, you can own a single family home. If you don't want to pay rent or mortgage ever again, you can simply own a multifamily home. It's that simple. You can own a multifamily home and never have a housing expense for the rest of your life. It's that simple. You're trying to accelerate how fast you want to get free? This is the way, okay? So let's go over the multifamily map real quick, all right? So a lot of people buy their single family home first because they're trying to keep up with the Joneses and they're trying to, oh, I want to do this by the age of 30 and this and that. No. Here's the problem. If you use your FHA loan to buy your single family home, 3.5% down on $100,000 is $3,500. So you're like, look at me, I got a home for $3,500. And now you're here on this webinar and you want to be a multifamily investor and you didn't know that your second property would actually be 25% down. So 25% down on 300,000 is $75,000. So if you add up those two down payments, you'd have $78,000 in down payments. Watch what happens if you simply just switch this around, y'all. You take your FHA loan and you buy a multifamily first. 3.5% down on $300,000 is $10,500. And then you buy your single family, 25% down on $100,000 is $25,000. Look at those down payments added up, y'all. $35,000. So it's literally twice as hard to buy a single family first and then a multifamily than it is to buy a multifamily and then a single family. It's just basic math, y'all. Okay? The $100,000 single family home, I know it doesn't exist. I'm just showing you this for math purposes to make the math easy. But this same thing works out whether you put $300,000 for the single family home and $500,000 for the multifamily. The same equation will work out. It is twice as hard. This is why you buy your multifamily first. You simply just change the sequence, right? So again, for those of you who came in late, this is my portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control. Notice I do not say own, okay? Why don't I say own, y'all? Why don't I say own? Great, because the bank owns it, right? The bank owns it. I control these properties, meaning I still get to benefit from the appreciation, the use of them, the tax benefits, right? And the principal pay down. Now, if you're a single family buyer, please in chat, type messed up if you feel you messed up. If you're a single family buyer, type messed up. I'm not doing this to shame you. I'm just doing this to educate all the people who are renters who are here. If you're a single family buyer, type in chat messed up. Renters, I just want you to all see this. These are actual single family buyers who are letting you know that they messed up. And all they're saying is do not follow in my footsteps. I know you're going to be tempted to because you have been programmed like this to get your house with the white picket fence and your nuclear family, you've been programmed like that since you were young. But I'm showing you single family buyers who are letting you know, please do not follow in my footsteps. Okay, renters, did you see that? Did you see all of them? Renters, did you see all of them? Okay, it's not just one person who told you, it's not two people, it's not three people. That was literally about 100 people who said, do not do what I did. So don't walk around, you know, they say ignorance is bliss. No, don't walk around saying you didn't know. Don't come at me 3 months from now talking about, I bought a single family home. How do I become a real estate investor now? Don't come at me with that. Because if you were here, now you know. All right. So here's the game plan that we're trying to all run. I'm going to show you in the simplest way that I know how. Right. Real quick, I'm going to take questions, y'all. I see you asking questions in the chat. If I start answering questions while I'm doing the presentation, I won't be able to get through everything. On top of that, the presentation is going to answer a lot of your questions. So if you could just hold tight, I promise I will answer questions at the end. Does that sound fair? Please type fair if that sounds fair. Okay. I will create a space at the end for Q&A, but if I try to answer your questions while I'm teaching, I won't be able to get through everything. And I have a lot to share with you, and a lot of it's going to answer your questions if you just sit back and listen. Cool? All right. So the play that I'm trying to teach you, okay? Right now, many of you are renting. Single family buyers, I'll get to you in a second. Many of you are renting. So let's say you're paying $1,000 in rent to a landlord, okay? That landlord is getting $3,000, you're saving $250. That landlord takes that money, pays the $1,500 mortgage, pockets the other $1,500, okay? Now, you want to be the landlord. So what do? You go get a similar property, just like I did, a 3-family in Brooklyn. Now I'm getting rent from the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor. The 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, that's $2,000, and I'm living for free on the 1st floor. This is exactly what I did in Brooklyn, y'all, okay? But guess what? On top of that, I'm no longer paying rent. So that's actually $3,000 in my pocket, right? So I take that $3,000 and I pay the $1,500 mortgage, and I pocket the other $1,500. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't want to share walls with people, don't want people living above you, you want that single family home, you'll get it, and you'll get it for free. Let me show you how. After living here for 1 year using FHA, you simply move out, you buy the single family that you desire, you fill your space with a tenant. Now you're getting $3,000 from that building, plus $1,000 from no longer paying rent anymore. Okay. You pay this mortgage of $1,500, you pay your single family mortgage of $1,500, and now you're living rent and mortgage free. You have 2 properties that you don't even pay for. On top of that, they give you an additional $1,000 a month. This is the blueprint. This is the play that I'm trying to teach you all to run. And it all hinges on you getting this first property the right way, buying right. Anybody can buy property. That is not the goal. It is to buy right, meaning that you are stepping into equity, meaning that it has a certain amount of cash flow and it has definite appreciation potential. This is what it means to buy right, okay? Anybody can go overpay for a piece of property. Go ahead. Doesn't mean that you bought right. And the people who end up selling in these kind of economic environments are the people who bought wrong. The people who will sell to you in this environment are the people who bought wrong. Anybody who went into forbearance over the past 4 months, guess what? They bought wrong. And now they're being exposed. And they're going to talk about the economy, and they're going to externalize all the reasons why it's not their fault that they're losing their home, but it was their decision. They weren't educated. They took on a lot of debt, and they were not educated in terms of how it actually worked. So we have to buy right. We are not making the same mistakes that the other people have made. In fact, we're going to be a solution for them because they're going to sell their house to us at discount. In fact, forbearance is going to end for a lot of people in the next few months. Between now and the end of the year, real estate is going to go on sale, y'all. No, not a t-shirt, not some shoes online, not some furniture, okay? Real estate is going to go on sale. Real estate doesn't move as quickly as stocks do, okay? And a lot of people went into forbearance, which was only putting a Band-Aid on the real problem, but forbearance ends after 3 to 4 months. And they're going to either have to pay 3 to 4 months of mortgage all at once, or they're going to have to sell their property at discount or get foreclosed on. So between now and the end of the year, real estate is going to go on sale. And this is exactly what we're trying to prepare you for, to benefit from you getting real estate at discounted prices. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to retrain your eyes. Okay. Because a lot of you have allowed HGTV to determine how you view real estate. I want you to be very clear. Your first investment property won't look like anything you've seen on HGTV. It will not, okay? None of my properties have granite countertops. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care because multifamily real estate investing has nothing to do with aesthetics or emotions. It has everything to do with economics. Okay. So you watching shows like The Property Brothers, I say, screw The Property Brothers. I'm your new property brother with an A, and I'm going to keep it real with you about real estate. This is about guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. This is guaranteed cash flow, not granite countertops. I don't care if my property has granite countertops or not. All I care about is the cash flow. Okay. So let me show you my actual first property in Brooklyn. Here it is right here. This property, you can see inside, linen white paint, nothing nice, nice floors, okay, very clean, the cheap light fixtures. Look at my kitchen, no granite countertops. Look at my appliances, they are not stainless steel. That's the cheapest countertop that you can get at Lowe's. Those are the cheapest cabinets you can get at Lowe's. My appliances are not stainless steel. And guess what? I didn't care. My first dream home was not my dream home. My first home was not my dream home. But guess what? It made my dreams possible. It was not my dream home. And I knew that going in. It's not my dream home, but it made my dreams possible. I knew that based on the location, based on the price, based on the rents, based on the appreciation, that this property would become my family's bank. I knew it. So I wasn't looking for my dream home. I was looking for an asset that would allow me in the future to acquire my dream home. So I want to share with you the difference between a single family HGTV buyer and a multifamily investor. Single family HGTV buyers are looking for their dream home. Multifamily investors are looking for an asset that will pay for their dream home. Single family HGTV buyers are looking for granite countertops. Multifamily investors are looking for guaranteed cash flow. Single family HGTV buyers, they're looking for a place to raise their kids. Multifamily investors are looking for a place to raise their net worth. Single family HGTV buyers buy based on emotions. Multifamily investors buy based on economics. HGTV buyers, they're looking for a finished basement. Multifamily owners, they're looking to start building wealth. Which side of the equation do you want to be on, y'all? Which side of the equation you want to be on? If you become a multifamily investor first, I can assure that you will get the single family that you desire. Okay? But if you are impatient and you need your single family right now, you are only going to make your climb to freedom that much harder. Right? So, finding the deal. Okay, I've already taught you how to finance the deal. We have NACA and we have FHA. So the money part is out of the is already taken care of. Next is finding the deal. That is actually the hardest part. Okay, and notice I said deal, not listing. We're looking for real estate deals, not real estate listings. Right? Many of you are searching on Jullien and Zillow for real estate deals. Guess what? There are very few real estate deals on Jullien and Zillow. There are tons of listings there. Okay, but there are no deals. Reonomy says that mass marketed listings regularly command a 30% premium to off-market deals. Okay, so we don't want to get a listing. We want to find deals. How do you find deals? We don't really use the internet that much. We use research and relationships, right? They are called off-market deals or pocket deals. Look how I find deals. I got deals coming to me every single day via Instagram, via text message, via Facebook, via email. I have different sources, different people sending me deals on a daily basis. I got a deal in my email today that I need to run the numbers on. Okay. So this is how you find deals, not on Jullien and Zillow. A lot of you have signed up with a real estate agent. You told them your square footage, your neighborhood, your budget, how many bedrooms, etc. And then they put you on some email list and you stopped opening the email because you knew there were no deals in there. Stop me when I'm lying. Type me if that's you. You are on some real estate agent's email list and they're sending you listings every day, but no deals. Y'all already know what I'm talking about. That's being lazy. That is being lazy. This is not how we win in this particular game. So this is one of my students, and he said, Gabrielle said, Ronique, congratulations. Did you find this deal on Zillow? He said, no, I found it through a real estate financial broker who knew a wholesaler. This is a relationship-based game, y'all, okay? So you're gonna have to get up and get out of your seat in order to find deals, right? Again, you have to know the difference between a real estate agent and a real estate investor. You don't need a real estate agent, you need a real estate advisor, okay? So a real estate agent, guess what? On that test, they don't have to know how to calculate cash on cash return. Real estate agents are not required to know how to calculate cash on cash return, and that is the most important number in multifamily real estate investing. It is not on the test, y'all. Real estate agents are in the business of selling single family homes to American dreamers. They are in the business of selling single family homes to American dreamers. They don't understand real estate investing unless they've invested themselves. I don't work with agents who don't either, one, know how to calculate cash on cash return, or two, have multifamily real estate themselves. You telling me you've been in this game for 5 years and you don't have one multifamily property yourself and you get access to the deals first? Something's wrong here. So how are you going to help me when you can't even see what a good deal is for yourself? Okay. So it's not just hiring a real estate agent. You need a real estate advisor to guide you. I lead my real estate agents. They go execute the contracts for me, but I lead them. They don't lead me. Okay. I lead my real estate agents. They do not lead me. And notice I said agents. I have several agents. I don't sign exclusive deals with one agent. Whoever finds me the deal is who gets paid. It's that simple.
Hey, Julian, I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother. I think your sound went out on your end. They said
Okay.
people are saying they can't hear you. Oh, it's back now.
Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah,
Am I
you're
back? Am
back.
I back?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
I don't know what happened, y'all, but thank you for letting me know, Lawrence, because I was I was gonna keep going. All right. Feel free to shout me out, Lawrence, again if that happens. All right. So we need to retrain our eyes. Okay. You need to develop the 4 eyes of real estate. One is eyes for the market. How do you know if a market is expanding or contracting? Okay. Then you have to have eyes for the neighborhood. You have to be able to see the 33 signs of gentrification. Do you know there's 33 signs of gentrification? One of them is a white girl running around at 9:30 p.m. with her earpods in and not looking over her shoulder and feeling very comfortable. That's a sign of gentrification. Now, do you buy in the neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification? Do you buy in the neighborhood that has all 33 signs of gentrification? No, that's the neighborhood that's going to be the highest price. You buy in the neighborhood that has 15 to 20 signs of gentrification that is moving towards 33. That's what I did. When I bought on Fulton and Utica in Brooklyn, right, on the edge of Bed-Stuy, I bought where there was 15 to 20 signs and I knew that it was moving towards 33. And it's around 28 signs now. Okay. So what do you think has happened to my property value as each one of those signs keeps getting added in? My property value has risen like crazy. All right. So this is the power. You also have to have eyes for the property. When I go into a property, I use this booklet right here. This booklet right here. And I look for hidden value and hidden cost. Look at this. This is about 50 hidden value, and this is about 25 hidden costs. I'm not looking for granite countertops. I'm not looking for stainless steel appliances. I'm looking for hidden value and hidden costs. Look, y'all. You know that granite countertops cost like $1,200? They only cost like $1,200. Why would you make a $400,000 decision off a $1,200 countertop? That stainless steel fridge costs $800. Why would you make a $400,000 decision off of an $800 countertop or refrigerator? Like, it does not make sense. Like, when you really think about it, it makes no sense. Oh, look at this stainless steel fridge. You can go get that at Lowe's today if you wanted to. Why are you making a $400,000 decision off of an appliance? Like, come on, y'all. Like, we got to think. Okay. So when it comes to finding these deals in terms of relationship, how many of you had a friend at Foot Locker? How many had a friend at Foot Locker who hooked you up? Or the shoe store, Foot Action? How many had a friend like that? Okay. Guess what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all got the hookup. Or sporting events, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Guess what? Guess what is that? Well, guess what that's called in real estate, y'all? That's called an off-market deal. That's called an off-market deal. And we want to do the exact same thing that we do in those areas of our lives for these smaller consumer-based transactions. We want to use that for real estate. It's the same game, y'all. It is the exact same game. So we have to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Does anybody here know what an asset is? Can anybody define what an asset is? Can anybody define what an asset is? Wait a second. So y'all want a whole bunch of assets. You wearing t-shirts from assets over liabilities. You don't even know what an asset is. That's a problem. Okay. According to Kiyosaki, An asset has value, produces income, or appreciates, and has a ready market. Assets put money into your pocket. Okay. At what point does a single family home put money into your pocket, y'all? At what point does a single family home ever put money into your pocket? Only when you sell it, and therefore you have no more use of it. And if you do sell it and it appreciated, all of that excess capital is really just covering all the interest that you paid. It's not really appreciation that you get. If you actually added up all the interest that you paid, that appreciation is simply just covering the interest. Even when you paid off the mortgage on a single family home, guess what, y'all? You still have property taxes and insurance. And on top of that, you have a 30-year-old home. So guess what? Your mortgage becomes maintenance. That roof is going to need to get done now. That foundation is going to have to get done. That plumbing is going to have to get reworked. So you thought your mortgage was gone, but that mortgage, now that you have a 30-year-old home, now becomes maintenance. Okay? So did y'all know that debt-free does not mean financially free? Debt-free does not mean financially free. You are financially free when your passive income is greater than your cost of living. When your passive income is greater than your cost of living. Most of you have no passive income at this moment in time. You have no passive income at this moment in time. You've been playing the game of active income. And I hope that your salary is through the roof. That's great. You still have no passive income. And it is impossible to be financially free when you have no passive income. Okay? So if I told you I found an ATM machine that would eliminate your $1,000 a month rent expense forever, and on top of that, give you an extra $90 cash every single month, guaranteed, all you have to pay is $10,500 one time, would you give up or go get the money? Would you give up or go get the money, y'all? You go get that money, okay? Literally, this is a basic equation. You realize that you would make your money back in about 10 months, right? You'd be able to pay back your lender in 10 months. Well, guess what, y'all? Here's my ATM machine right here. It's the one that I showed you. Look at the numbers. The price, $300,000. Down payment, 3.5%, $10,500. The rent is $3,200. The mortgage is $1,259.94. The taxes and insurance are $335.13. The capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate are $515. And the cash flow is $1,089.93 every single month for the rest of my life. This is the ATM machine. You've been driving by it on your way to work, on the way to the grocery store, on the way to pick up your kids. But because you couldn't see real estate based on the economics, you would only look at it based on the aesthetics. You were missing out on ATM machines that have been around you for a long period of time. These are the exact numbers from this particular property. Okay. So answer me this, y'all. What other business can you buy for $300,000 with only $10,500 down, get financed for the other $289,000 in 30 to 45 days, that have that business immediately cash flow in 30 days and succeed with minimal time, effort, or experience? Please let me know in chat. There are none. This is the asset that you must have, y'all, in your family's last name. If you're really about your family's success and generational wealth, this is it right here. All right. So when it comes to buying real estate, a lot of you are focused on single family. Hopefully that focus has shifted. But when you're buying single family real estate, look at this, y'all. Three things. One, how much did I get approved for? 500,000. How much is this home? 480. And do I like it? Yes or no? 3 factors. When it comes to multifamily real estate, there's literally 23 numbers that you must know in order to evaluate a deal. If you miss one number, it can literally destroy your deal. This is a financial model that I built out over the past 7 years that I use to evaluate every single deal. I know where to find these numbers. I know how to find them quickly. And guess what? You know what I do? I run these numbers in 10 minutes. I text message my agent, here's my offer price. They send me a document to sign via email or DocuSign. And within about 30 minutes, my offer is in. That's how I play. See, some of you are out here on Truly and Zillow bookmarking stuff, putting hearts. Oh, I'm gonna check this out when I get back home from work. Oh, I'm gonna go look at this property this weekend. And here I am evaluating it within 30 minutes and my offer is in before you've even left for the corporate plantation. how are you going to win in that kind of a market, y'all? How are you going to win against somebody like me? Okay. I want you to be that somebody like me in your market so that you can go get that deal. Okay. So what does it mean to buy right? Buying right means that the property gives you cash flow and gets you to at least rent and mortgage freedom and hopefully more. It means that you have built-in equity in the home the moment you acquire it, meaning that your appraised value is greater than the price that you paid. That the home has definite appreciation potential based on the 33 signs of gentrification, and that the deal positions you to acquire your dream home free and clear and secures your retirement and adds to your legacy. This is what it means to buy right. Okay. Now, why is this so important right now? Because if you wait, then what will happen is your rents will continue to rise, and that'll make it harder for you to save. And then the prices of real estate will start rising again, and that will make it harder for you to buy. So if you don't move on this window of opportunity between now and the end of the year, then you may actually never ever own multifamily real estate. And I don't say that sarcastically. I say that just based on the economic reality. Okay. When you think about earth, right? What is the most valuable thing on earth? It's actually a piece of earth. For those of you who are religious or spiritual, whatever faith you believe in, guess what? What was God's first gift to man? What was God's first gift to man, y'all? Before God gave us life, there was land. Garden of Eden, I don't know what it's called in Islam, whatever it is, the land was there before God gave us life. We needed an environment to be on. Land was God's first gift to man. And we, as African people, as the firstborn, as the closest to the creator, we have allowed other people to take our land. Now, the reason we allowed that was psychological. When we were born, the land was just here, so we didn't perceive it as something to be owned, right? But for whatever reason, there are other cultures who saw it as something to be owned, and they came in to our land, and we were like, yeah, this is land. You can use it, take whatever you need. And they abused it. And now we are living in their paradigm because we didn't defend ourselves in that moment, because we didn't have the perception of owning land. We didn't see land as something to be owned. But now that we're in their paradigm, it is our time to take the land back. We had more land after we got out of slavery than we do now as a people. We have actually gone backwards. And if we look at the correlation between freedom and land, we'll find that the people who are most free have the most land. So the gap between the rich and the poor is getting wider and wider and wider. Right now, it is at a point where if you do some things strategically right, you go to the right school, you get the right grades, you get the right job, etc., you can jump from one side to the other. But that gap is getting wider and wider and wider. And soon it's going to be so wide that no matter what you do, you will not be able to get to the other side. And so I know that you acquiring a piece of multifamily real estate will help you and your family get to the other side before that gap gets too wide for you ever to get across. When you think about this business model, this is the most proven business model of all time. You think about the feudal system from 900 AD. In the feudal system, kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. Kings gave land to lords in exchange for loyalty. So where do you think the word landlord came from? It comes from the feudal system, which is 1100 years old. I can't guarantee you that Amazon will be around 1100 years from now. I can't guarantee you that Google will be around 1100 years from now. But as long as there are human beings on the face of this earth, guess what? Multifamily real estate will still be here. This is the most proven business model of all time, the #1 subscription business, better than Amazon Prime, better than Netflix. Every single month, like clockwork. It is the greatest need that human beings have, is a place to live. So the 4 financial benefits of multifamily real estate. This one property, these are the exact numbers from this one property, y'all. Over the next 30 years, this property will yield $638,000 to me and my last name. Okay, that's after principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate. That's free cash flow. Then the tax savings on this property will be over $250,000, meaning that I will not pay Uncle Sam over $250,000 due to me controlling this property. The principal pay down will be $225,000, and the appreciation will be $104,000 if it appreciates by 1% over the next 30 years. 1% each year over the next 30 years. And property actually appreciates at 3%. So this one single property, y'all, is going to lead to a $1.2 million shift in generational wealth from my last name. One property, y'all. And today I control 10, and I'm not stopping. If I stop right now, y'all, guess what? Guess how much cash flow my daughter will have for the rest of her life at the age of 35 if I stop right now? She'd have $25,000 per month for the rest of her life if I stopped right now. All because of decisions that I made in the past 7 years. Are you willing to sacrifice for your last name in that way? I don't know. You'll be the determinant of that. You're going to have to look in the mirror every single morning and say, I was willing or I wasn't. Look, y'all, if you're not willing, just look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Say, Julian, I'm not willing. I'm not willing to have a roommate. I'm not willing. Look, y'all, I drove a 2000 Honda Accord till 2018. Y'all had nicer cars than me while I was acquiring more property than many of you have. I didn't get a new 4-door car until I owned 10 apartments. Some of y'all riding around looking the part and really don't own anything. Don't own the car, don't own the apartment, don't own your hair, like don't own your clothes, renting the runway, like looking the part, but don't actually own anything. Like, come on, y'all. We got to get serious about this. All right. So look, a lot of people talk about securing the bag. You do that by securing a building, and that will secure your housing, your retirement, and your legacy. All right. Now, there are many ways to make money in real estate. There's tax liens, there's wholesaling, there's vacation rentals like Airbnb, there's fixing and flipping, there's multifamily. Where I can help, where I can do a deep dive is in multifamily real estate. This is where my expertise is at. And again, for those of you who came in late, this is my actual portfolio. These are the 10 properties that I control at this moment in time, 30 apartments. Okay, 13.83% cash on cash return, 19.5% appreciation, $36,000 per month in rent. And I want to be very clear. I do not keep all $36,000. Okay, I keep about 40% of that. Okay, the other goes to principal, interest, taxes, insurance, capex, repair reserve, and vacancy rate. I do not keep all $36,000. So be very careful when people are like, oh yeah, I got $1 million company. That's $1 million in revenue, but what is the actual profit? All right. So I'm being very transparent with you. That is the rent collectively that I get, that I collected over the past week. I do not pocket all of that. And even if I do pocket, I'm only stacking it to buy another property, okay? And so today, my portfolio is worth $4.1 million, all right? So with that, I would like to invite all of you to join a program that I created with Dr. Watkins called the Multifamily Master Plan. And the Multifamily Master Plan is a 12-week experience to guide you through everything that we just discussed on this webinar and a lot more to accelerate how quickly you were able to buy a multifamily in the right way and get to rent and mortgage freedom as quickly as possible. Whether you are a renter, whether you're a single family buyer, this program will show you how to get on the pathway to becoming a real estate investor. Now, the way this program is structured is that it has 5 modules: finance it, find it, finalize it, fix it, and fill it. All right. And the finance it module, here's what I'll teach you. Know the low money down programs and grants you can use to get started without a huge savings. What exactly are lenders looking for? The key numbers and ratios you need to be aware of. The quick credit fixes to improve your credit score and keep your interest rate down and your saving tens of thousands of dollars. FHA loans debunk the dark side that most people don't tell you beyond it being 3.5% down. Why you must shop for lenders first, not the home, and how to get the lowest rate possible by doing so, and why you should go as big as possible on your first multifamily as long as it makes sense. All right. In module 2, or actually before I get to module 2, this is what Sandy said. Hey fam, just wanted to share. It's very important to interview several lenders. I now have 3 pre-approval letters, one for $500K, one for $415. And the last one I got this morning is from VA for $700K. For the newbies in this group, don't skip steps. I will leverage these to get the best rate possible. Of course, the VA loan is my first choice. All right. So that is Sandy actually using my techniques to make the lenders compete for your business. Okay. Then in the next module, find it. I will teach you how to find great deals in your backyard. Literally, my first deal was literally in my backyard. I was renting on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. The property that I bought literally shares a backyard with that property. I'll teach you the 33 signs of gentrification to ensure that you buy right before prices rise and not after that they do. How to use the internet and the specific websites you need to know to find and do due diligence on a deal. Again, this is not truly a Zillow or Redfin. Okay, how to evaluate a deal in another state if you're investing from a distance, why the asking price doesn't matter, the real metrics that make a deal worth it or not, and the people or tools you need in place to get off-market deals coming to you daily. Module 3, finalize it. I'll teach you the 23 numbers you need to truly evaluate whether to purchase or pass on a real estate opportunity, how to quickly evaluate a deal in 10 minutes or less so that you can get your offer in before anyone else, the 4 most overlooked numbers that can make or break a deal, how to never pay at or above asking price and get it reduced to whatever you desire without worrying about the seller walking away, and 5 ways to exit any deal if the numbers aren't adding up or something doesn't feel right. Okay. Then Module 4, fix it. The 10 types of contracts you need to have and trust in and then on speed dial once the deal is in motion. How to vet your team beyond using Yelp or Angie's List, the questions to ask and the things to look for. Walk, crawl, climb, everything you must do, ask, and look for during the inspection process. The first things first, what are the very first things you need to do once you have the keys? Hint, it is not move in. And then fix it or nix it, what you should fix immediately and what can wait for later until cash starts flowing. And then in Module 5 is fill it. You're a landlord now, how to avoid the 3 a.m. phone calls and manage a building without actually being there, how to find great tenants if you have vacant units that need to be filled, what you need, who you need, and where to post, and then the free download of my sample lease agreement and long distance investing secrets, how to manage your investments without being there in the top 20 markets to invest in. Now, for those of you who are single family buyers, I have a specific module just for you, which shows you the 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. Only 2 of the 6 require you to sell. The other 4 are strategies that my students have used to get out of that situation and actually put themselves on the road to actually becoming multifamily investors while still holding on to their single family. There are also 5 ways to use FHA twice. I teach you what those exemptions are and the narrative that you have to use with your lender in order to get approved for that exemption. All right. Now, I have not just done this for myself. I've been able to teach this to many others. This is the Roll family. They have a 4-plex in Los Angeles. And they said, Julian's journey has always been an inspiration. My wife and I, we didn't think we were ready, but Julian helped us see that we were. Now that we own a 4-plex in Los Angeles that is already appreciated and generates enough cash flow for my wife and I to both step into entrepreneurship full time while still being financially responsible parents of our 1-year-old daughter, Jubilee. Then the Campbell family, my issue was that I had a rental property that wasn't cash flowing because I didn't buy right, as Julian always says. Thanks to his coaching, we came up with a strategy to sell that property and leverage it up to a multifamily unit using a 1031 exchange. We found a real estate attorney to transfer the rental property out of my name and into the LLC. Now that we corrected our real estate wrongs and have a cash flowing Airbnb in Charlotte, which Julian taught me how to scale quickly, in a multifamily where we live mortgage free in one of the 2 units. This is Dante. I helped him find this property, this duplex here in New Orleans, where he's from. He closed in 34 days after joining. Jackie Hall Cooper, she closed on this a triplex and a single family in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She got it from a distressed seller, underpriced. Spencer, he lives in Texas, bought this duplex in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. The Powell family, they live in Oakland, California. They bought this duplex in Detroit, Michigan. All right, Oakland is a very expensive market. Again, your money does not have to work in the same city as you do. Jason lives in San Antonio, Texas. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. Robin, she closed on this double here in New Orleans, not too far from me. This is Ron or Ronique. He actually closed on this 4-plex in Birmingham, Alabama in less than 30 days. He's already on his next property where, watch this, y'all. He bought it for $25,000. Is putting $45,000 as the renovation. It's after repair value is going to be $175,000. He's going to step into $100,000 in equity because of what I've taught him in this program. One of our youngest students, Demetrius, he's only 26 years old. He's a vet, and he bought this 4-plex in Killeen, Texas. This is Steven. He lives in New York. I helped him find this duplex here in New Orleans. He got it for $35,000 under asking price using the techniques that I taught him to use during the inspection process to get the price down. Okay, this is April. She bought this in Virginia, 4-plex in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And even in the midst of coronavirus, look how much she made at Airbnb. $28,000 she made through Airbnb. And once this is at full capacity again, she is going to be caking off of this property. All right. I normally don't have my students do single family homes, but Jay found this property with a lot of equity in it, and it still made sense. So this was her first rental property that she got under her belt. Fernando and his family, they bought this property on May 5th in LA, and they're going to run, it's a duplex, and they're going to run the group home business model through it. And they said that the numbers are crazy there. This is Terrence. He's also a vet, and he bought this fourplex in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which he's moved into. Jetro went to University of Florida. He bought this fourplex in Gainesville, Florida, and he bought this fourplex in Gainesville, Florida, though he doesn't live in Florida right now. Sandra, she bought this duplex in Kansas City, Missouri for $15,000. She's going to do exactly what Ronique did, put money into it, and then do our cash out refi once the renovations are done. This is Nicole. She closed on this fourplex in Chicago. Original price was $362,000. She got it down to $340,000, and the interest rate is now 3.5%. And my students are closing in the midst of coronavirus, y'all. This is May 12th. Devin closed on this property in East Orange, New Jersey. So for those of you who are in the Northeast and like, oh, this can't happen here, this is East Orange, New Jersey. Devin closed there recently. Then we have, again, Northeast, we have Alan, who closed on just before Juneteenth on this triplex in Baltimore. He said, hey, Julian, I just want to thank you for your great service that you provide. I learned a great deal from your detailed instruction for the past 3 months during the pandemic, and I recently closed on a multifamily property in Baltimore, Maryland on 6/17. The property cash flows, and it is an appreciating market with built-in equity as well. I would not have had the confidence to handle that deal like such a boss without the expert knowledge provided in your course. I felt like I had the answers to the test every step along the way. Thanks again, brother, for the gateway to freedom and generational wealth. I will certainly pay it forward. Best regards, Alan. So again, Northeast. This is Darren and Aisha. They closed on this triplex in the Northeast in just 3 months. They closed on July 28th. And two of our most recent closings, Tyler and Olivia, they closed on this fourplex here in New Orleans on August 10th. And then Elisa just closed on this on a fourplex in just under 2 months on September 4th. So my students are winning. Coronavirus, no coronavirus, economy up, economy down, real estate is being sold, and I'm teaching my students to win. All right. Now, how do you join this program? Well, the way to join this program is to be part of the Black Real Estate Investor Group, where we are committed to creating freedom and generational wealth through real estate. We are looking for 300 families to help acquire a cash flow positive multifamily home within 6 months of being pre-qualified. Within 6 months of being pre-qualified. So we're looking for 300 families to join us. Normally, the multifamily master plan course would be $1,999 per year, okay, because of the wealth that it's going to create for you and your family. But that will not be the price tonight. It will be nowhere near that whatsoever. And I'll share that with you in just a moment. Now, the way this course is structured is that only 20% of this course is actually on the computer. Okay. Yes, I have a lot of mindset work to do with you, and you can tell by our conversation today. But you will not find a real estate deal just sitting in front of a computer. This is not Netflix and chill. Okay. Real estate is a contact sport. You have to be in contact with people and properties. So 40% of this program will actually be you on the phone, talking to lenders, talking to agents, talking to owners, talking to wholesalers, talking to contractors. Okay. This is how we source the deals. Then 40% of the program will be you in your shoes or in your car, actually traveling new neighborhoods or neighborhoods that you're familiar with to look for real estate deals. Okay. So 80% of this program is away from your desk, actually out in the field. The way the program is structured is that every week you will have a new challenge. We have the financial house cleaning challenge, the lender shopping challenge, the pre-approval challenge, the real estate agent challenge, the neighborhood knowledge challenge #1, deal a day challenge #1. Then you'll do your real estate team building challenge, and then you'll do the new neighborhood challenge and the deal a day challenge over and over and over habitually until you actually find the deal that you're looking for, right? On top of that, every week I hold you accountable. Okay. On top of that, I hold you accountable every single week with coaching. So every week we have our weekly deal room calls. This is where you can get in the hot seat and get coached by me live on whatever deal that you're dealing with. Okay. Now, on that call, you have to report to me what you did in the past week. Okay. In order to move forward on acquiring a multifamily home, then we do coaching, and then you have to create your action plan for the upcoming week. With this program, you are not paying for information. Okay. You are not paying for information, right? I've been teaching online for the past 10 years, and only 7% of people complete online courses. How many of you bought a book or online course that you never, or you book you didn't crack open, or online course you never logged into? Just keep it real. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Keep it real. Okay. Information does not create transformation. It is the integration of the information that creates the transformation. I'm not here for the transfer of information. I'm here for your actual transformation. So what you're paying me for in this particular program is for the accountability and the structure that I can provide. Now, You may try to piece this together on YouTube, podcasts, blog posts, books, if you want to. All the information is out there. That is not what you're paying for. You are paying for the accountability and the structure, just like a personal trainer. There are free YouTube workouts on there. They're free YouTube workouts, okay? But some of y'all still got a gut. I'm gonna say it again. There are all kinds of workouts, free workouts online, but some of y'all still got a gut, okay? So it's not about the information. So stop lying. It's just like, oh, I just need the information and I'll be good. No, it is the accountability and the structure that gets the information integrated into your life that actually creates the change. All right. So somebody said, leave my pouch alone. All right. No kangaroos out here. We ain't kangarooing. We trying to make our net worth jump. Okay. Not our jelly belly. All right. Okay. So on top of that, you will get the purchase of past deal analyzer. You'll get the purchase of past deal analyzer. I showed you, these are where you put in the 23 numbers and it automatically tells you whether to purchase or pass on a real estate deal. You don't have to do any thinking whatsoever. All you have to do is know what the 23 numbers are and where to find them and where to plug them in. So you get that, which is absolutely priceless. I use that for all the deals that I evaluate. You also get a ticket to Dr. Watkins and my live event in New Orleans. Okay, it's our wealth and real estate weekend. It is typically on MLK weekend. If it does not happen live this year due to coronavirus, we will have it online and it will still be dope. Okay, so on that day, on day one, we do all of our wealth building principles beyond real estate, and on day two, we actually go look at my real estate portfolio. We look at deals that we can do together, and we do coaching, hot seat coaching on real estate on day two. So day two is all real estate. On day one is all wealth building principles beyond real estate. Okay. This is all of us here in New Orleans last year, MLK weekend. That's me right there in the middle. And that's my daughter right there. With Doc is Doc. There's Lawrence right there. There's Lawrence. There's Ulaw right there. I don't know if Doc is in the picture. I think he's in there somewhere. But that's us. So this is a movement in real life, y'all. This is not just some online course. All right. So when you put everything together, that's $19.99 for the multifamily master plan. For the weekly deal room coaching, that's $2,399. And the live event in New Orleans, the ticket is $599. Everything together, that's $4,997. Now, let me ask you this. Would it be worth $4,997 one time to eliminate your monthly rent expense or single family home mortgage forever? Please let me know in chat. Please let me know in chat. All right, cool. Would it be worth $4,997 if all it did was help you acquire one multifamily, a cash flow positive multifamily home within the next year? Okay. Would it be worth $4,997 if the only thing you learned was how to buy right so that you never ended up underwater on a real estate deal thanks to the deal analyzer? Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of yeses. So here are your options. Here are your options. I know some people are asking, how much does it cost? Well, option number one, it feels free, but it's actually going to cost you the most, and that's just you do nothing. That is you continuing. That's you continuing on the path that you have been on, and just hoping that something changes. And so that's option number one. Now, if you do that, rents are going to continue to rise, which makes it harder for you to save, and prices are going to continue to rise, which make it harder for you to buy. And so I don't want you to delay. I want you to be able to take advantage of this window of opportunity that's going to occur between now and the end of the year to make sure that you can get real estate at a discounted price. Okay. Now, earlier, I gave you a hypothetical situation where I asked you if you would give up or go get the money. Okay. And all of you were using your Twitter fingers and you were like, you know me, Julian, I'll go get that money. I'm about that life. I'll do what I got to do. I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was talking all tough with your Twitter fingers early on. And now that was just a hypothetical situation. Now this is a real life situation, a real life crossroads and decision set where you get to choose between your current path that you've been on, which for some of you has not been working well, or to pave a new path to a new financial future. And so if you want to pave a new path to a new financial future, you can all join the multifamily movement and the Black real estate investing group for $2,499. That's $2,499. You can join the Black REI group. You can go to theblackreigroup.com. That's theblackreigroup.com, and you can join us. When you join it for $2,499, you save $1,089. Okay, that is lifetime access to the program. Okay. Lifetime access to the program. Okay. Now, for many of you, that's the equivalent of 1 to 2 months of rent. 1 to 2 months of rent to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage again. That's literally 1 to 2 months of rent to put you in position to never have to pay rent or mortgage ever again. That's all we're asking for. Now, how many of you have been to Fortune Builders? How many of you heard of Fortune Builders or been to one of their hotel meetings? How many of you been to Fortune Builders or been to one of their hotel meetings? How much do they charge, y'all? How much do they charge? You see that, Timothy? $25,000, $34,000. They charge over $30,000 for the same information that we're providing you. I went to the one here in New Orleans, 70% Black people, and they're literally stealing your down payment. They're literally stealing your down payment. We don't want your down payment. We want you to have your down payment so that you can actually get to the finish line. Okay. And so we are offering this for literally a fraction of the cost that I don't want to call them oppressors, but people of other cultures are offering this information for. Okay. And we're providing you with accountability and structure to make sure that it happens. Now, how many of you actually need a payment plan? How many of you don't have $2,499 right now? Okay. Stimulus check wasn't that big, huh? That's all right. It's okay. We want to work with you. And so we have another option, which is option 3, which is $499 for just 6 months. $499 for just 6 months. So that's a total of $2,994. This is not a subscription that goes on forever, y'all. We're not trying to just get you on some subscription plan and hope that you forget and you just paying $499 forever. No. Once it ends, once you made your 6th payment, you have lifetime access to the program. All we're doing is trying to break up the payments for you. When you take this particular path, you save $594. Okay, you save $594. When you do the one pay of $2,499, you save $1,089. But with this option 3, you save $594. All right. Now, if that is still too much, again, that's theblackreigroup.com. Is that page working? Can y'all click that and let me know if that page is working? Shar said it's working. All right, thank you, Larry. So look, y'all, I know Dr. Watkins and I talked about this in Lawrence, and we know times is tough and money is funny right now, but we know you need to get out of your situation. So we are offering one other option, which is $299 per month for 12 months. Okay, that is a total of $3,588, and you can get started right now for $299. Less than $300, you can come get access to this knowledge, to this wisdom, to this wealth consciousness, and everything that we shared with you on tonight's call. We can't go lower than that. Okay, we got to make it just high enough so that people who are not serious don't get in. We don't need those kind of people infecting the group. Okay, so there has to be some stakes. You got to have some skin in the game, and this is as low as we can go to make this accessible to all those who need it. All right, so $299 for 12 months. This is your option. Again, that is theblackreigroup.com, theblackreigroup.com. You can go there now and join. All right, so you'll go there, you'll click the link, and you will see this, and you'll click enroll in the course, and the automatic coupon will come up, and the automatic discount will come up, and you can roll and take advantage of that while the discount lasts. All right. On top of that, you will get a few different bonuses. One is the Fuel It module. The Fuel It module will show you step by step how I scaled my entire portfolio from 0 to 10. I walk you through every single deal that I did, where I got the cash, how I leveraged property 1, 2, and 3 to buy 4, 5, and 6. I show you every step of the way how I actually did it. That is the Fuel It module. You're also going to get REI Tax Secrets, which is how to reduce your tax liability. Remember, I showed you that that one property is going to lead to $278,000 in tax savings, over $250,000 in tax savings as a result of one property. I'm going to show you how to set up your accounting to make sure that you're able to take advantage of all of that. That is not tax evasion, that is tax avoidance by leveraging the law. And the law is set up for the wealthy and those who own real estate and businesses. Okay, you're also going to get Overnight Success, which is my Airbnb course. I built a 6-figure Airbnb business, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that and how to scale quickly on your Airbnb business. Airbnb, when done right, can be 3 to 4 times what you would normally get for rent for your particular property. excuse me, you will also get the purchase to pass deal analyzer online. I've invested 5 figures into a software that only my students have access to that they can use to analyze their deals. What's powerful about the software is that we have a public deals page. And what's beautiful about this is that students who are also in your market can share deals with you that they're not doing, off-market deals that they found. This is Camille. She says, shout out to Daffy for sending me a sweet deal in our market this morning and helping me run the numbers on it. It's truly strengthened numbers in this community. Stay blessed, everyone. So this is how our community works, all right? You also get, for those of you who have credit issues right now, you get the credit mastery course with Casley Johnson. That is a bonus that we're adding in. If you follow the steps in this particular program, it'll help you boost your credit score by 50 to 150 points to make sure that you are in striking distance to get finance. So that comes with everything that we just shared. And for those of you who want to invest in businesses, you also get Ace Chapman's business, how to buy a business business acquisition program, which we're throwing in. If you feel like you want to step into entrepreneurship, but you don't have an idea, then we're giving you that. You can simply just acquire a business that also exists. Again, this is all about acquisition. You either buy or build an asset, y'all. You either buy or build an asset. Those are your only 2 options. So whether it's a business, whether it's real estate, this is what we're making available. And you all get Dr. Watkins' Introduction to the Power of Money, which is one of his most powerful courses that is available. And if you need to just enhance your wealth consciousness and develop that so that you understand how money really works a little bit more, then we are including that. And that is normally $12.99. So when you put all of those things in and you add that on top of the $4,997, everything that we're offering you tonight is $9,234 if you were to go buy everything a la carte. And actually, we don't sell this a la carte. This is a package that we put together just for you to cover any gap that you would have in this process. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. You say you don't know where to start in real estate. We're giving you the multifamily master plan, which is a step-by-step A through Z program to help you learn the game. Okay. You say you feel you are alone on your journey. You're the only person in your family who gets this. That's all right. One, come join our weekly deal room calls, be part of our community, come join our Facebook group. And I got a surprise for you that I'm going to share in just a second. That's really, really powerful. Then the next thing, you're not good at math. You failed high school math. You weren't good at calculus. You don't have to be, because with the purchase of past deal analyzer, guess what? All of the math is baked into the spreadsheet. All you have to do is know where to find the 23 numbers and how to plug them in. You need help with building your wealth beyond real estate? Well, that's what our Wealth and Real Estate Weekend is for in New Orleans, or whether it's digital and online. Dr. Watkins and I are going to share with you all the wealth building principles that we use to build our own wealth outside of real estate. You already bought a home. That's okay. That's what the Fuel It module is for. I'm going to show you how to reverse yourself out of that situation and how to scale up to build your portfolio beyond from 0 doors or from 1 door being a single family home. Do you need an LLC? You do not need an LLC, but you do need to do your accounting and set up your structure in a specific way to make sure that you are able to maximize all the tax benefits of multifamily real estate. So I show you that in REI Tax Secrets. You feel the prices are too high where you are, well, that's where Airbnb comes in. And when Airbnb comes in, you can get 3 to 4 times rents if you do Airbnb the right way, as I teach in the Overnight Success program. And then you feel your credit is stopping you from getting financed. That's why we're giving you the Credit Mastery course with Casley Johnson. Okay. So again, we're giving you all of this worth $9,234. You're not paying that today. You can literally join for as low as $299, y'all. $299, or you can do the one pay of $2,499, have lifetime access, save $10,000 and save $1,089, excuse me, or $499 for 6 months and save about $500 that way. Okay. You also do get a 30-day money back guarantee. Come on, join the program. Okay. Come learn the game and test it out. And if it's not working for you, just email support@theblackbusinessschool.com and say, I'm not interested. I don't want to own real estate. I got this. I'll figure it out on my own. That's perfectly fine. We are giving you the chance to kick the tires and see if this is something that you really want. If I'm not the right instructor for you, you don't like my style or whatnot, you can literally say, I want my money back. And that is it. Okay, we're happy to give you your money back. We don't hold anybody's money hostage. We know that we're going to get our 300 folks, and once we get those 300 folks, that'll be it. So, yep, that is a 30-day money back guarantee. Again, there is a price of procrastination. You have until Monday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to take advantage of this. We know it's the weekend, and we know you have to move some money around. You might have to go to the bank on Monday morning. You have until Monday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to take advantage of this. Right now it's $299 for 12 months, $499 for 6 months, or $2,499 one pay. After that, the price will jump up to $3,997, and there will be no bonuses. It'll be $3,997, and there'll be no bonuses. You told me that it was at least worth $4,997. This is still discounted at $3,997. So you have till Monday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to take advantage of this. Okay, so literally, y'all, you are one deal away. This was my first deal in Brooklyn. I had no clue that it would unfold in the way that it did today. Now that I'm aware, I would have been even more strategic than I have been able to be when I want to literally teach you how to do this. All right. Again, this is everything that you get. This is it visually so that you can just see that this is all coming with the package. All right. Everything that you get is included right here. And you got to take advantage of this. One, you got to hurry for a couple of reasons. One, real estate's about to go on sale between now and the end of the year. And then two, you have until Monday to take advantage of this offer that we're making for you on behalf of the Emancipation Equation Real Estate Weekend. All right. Now, for those of you who stayed to this end of the presentation, you will all get a list of down payment assistance programs emailed to you on tomorrow. Okay, it'll be sent via email. This is our way of saying thank you for being here tonight. Literally saying thank you for being here. Some of these are $5,000 grants. Some of these are like, if you take a landlord class, we'll wrap your closing costs into the mortgage, and it's organized by state. Okay, so look out for that via email tomorrow. We'll send you some reminders and just lay out the offer for you via email. So look out for those emails. But again, you have until Monday. Okay, Monday, midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you need to bring somebody on with you, your husband, your best friend, your sister, whoever, we are going to do this again tomorrow night as an encore. We realized that there were some technical difficulties and people were not able to get in. So we are going to do it again tomorrow night, same time, a new link. So we will send out the link via email. And with that, I just want to say thank you again. We are going to take questions. Now, the way we're going to take questions tonight is we're going to use the Q&A function. I know a lot of you have had the habit of putting questions into chat. Okay, we're going to use the Q&A function. Right now, there are already 64 questions in the Q&A. Okay, so I'm going to repeat. Do not ask your question in chat. Ask it using the Q&A function. Please type clear if you heard me. Please type clear if you heard me. We are asking questions using the Q&A function. We are not using chat. So please do not start screaming in chat talking about why aren't you answering my question. On top of that, there are now 70 questions. So we are not avoiding your question whatsoever. We actually want to answer every single question so that you can make an informed decision. But if we do answer every question, we will likely be here until midnight. So we're going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to answer as many questions as we possibly can. We hope that some of them are duplicates. So when we're answering question 3, we're also answering question 25 and 65, you know. So with that, I just want to say thank you again. Please, if you have any question, no question is too small, no question is dumb, go ahead and ask it in the Q&A function, and Lawrence is going to moderate, and I'm going to do my best to get you the answer that you need so that you can make informed decisions about this program, as well as informed decisions about buying multifamily real estate. So again, thank you all for being here, and let's get it in. All right, again, that's theblackreigroup.com, theblackreigroup.com.
Everybody, let's give Mr. Jullien Gordon a round of applause. He's one of the best instructors that I just know of, period, in any realm. You know, someone who has been educated by, I guess, the best institutions, but doesn't even talk about that. He talks about his experience and the things that he's done on the ground as it relates to real estate, as it relates to teaching, as it relates to a whole bunch of different types of things. And if you're looking for a trustworthy person who really cares about you and cares about the success of your family, then you have to look no further than Julian in this particular course. And that's why we've been working with him for the last, I guess about 3 years now, Julian. So October 2017. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep. So 3 years now, and yeah, it's been a very fruitful and successful partnership. And we hope that you are all are part of what we're doing with this program, the Black Real Estate Investors Group, the Black Real Estate Investors Group as well. And I would like to say shout out to Bernard and Jawan for coming on board in the last couple of minutes. We really appreciate you.
That's great.
But yeah, let's get to some questions.
Yep.
The first question is from Jeff Smiley. He asks, "Is there any way that I can get until Tuesday, for this particular offer?" Julian?
What's on Tuesday? Today's the what? Today's the 11th.
The 11th.
Oh, I
He
guess
says
that's
the
the
15th.
That's the 15th for folks. Oh man. How many of y'all is that payday for? How many of
Yeah.
y'all is the 15th payday? We didn't think about that.
Yeah, we did not think about that. Yeah,
Oh
that's because we don't we
look
don't
at
we
folks.
have different type of work we don't even think about.
We don't have paydays like that. All right, Lawrence. I think you're gonna have to make executive call on that. I'm down. I'm
Yeah,
down.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. We want as many people coming in as possible.
Yeah.
So yes, if you need to the 15th, I still saw some military. We're gonna make it the 15th, and then if you need some
It
type
won't
of
be the 16th. It will not be the 16th.
yeah, yeah, not the 18th. Yeah,
No.
not the 18th. We can do the 15th, but we love our military folks. So if you're military and you actually do need to the 16th, we'll make that happen. But if you ain't in
Oh,
military,
wait, military? Why they get? Is that like a
yeah,
rule?
I think they get paid on the 16th or something. I think someone said that in the chat.
All right.
But yeah, no. But for everybody, unless are wearing that type of uniform, it's going to be the 15th. We can do
All right.
that Tuesday the 15th at
Yeah, I'm
midnight.
with
So
that. I'm with that.
yeah. So okay. Uh, let's see. I ain't paid on Facebook. What score? Um, this is interesting. Some people are wondering like if they have a credit score too low. So what happens? Like, what's the minimum credit score needed in this program?
Well, for NACA, they're very lenient on credit score. So again, I encourage everybody to go through the NACA process if you have low savings or low credit score. FHA right now is 660. And if you can't use Castle's course to increase your credit score on your own, then I do encourage you to pay for credit repair. You do not want this little score to stop you from getting into the game. And so look, if you pay $1,000, let's say you paid $1,000 for credit repair, right? But that puts you in position to get an asset that's going to pay you $1,000 for the rest of your life, then that just makes sense, right? That's a great return on investment. So you got to look at it that way. A lot of you been trying to fix your credit on your own and it's not budging, it's not moving, and you need help. So let's get those derogatories off. And if you have to pay for credit repair, then do that.
All right. Charles would like to know, are the weekly meetings flexible? My schedule changes weekly.
The weekly meetings are every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they are recorded. So if your schedule changes, you can always catch the replay and listen to it just like you would a podcast whenever you're free, whenever you're traveling, etc. If you want to get coached and be in the hot seat, you would have to be there on that call. But then I also am in the Facebook group every day answering questions. So if you have a question that I can't answer live because you weren't able to make it, you can still put your question in the Facebook group and I will get to it within 24 hours.
Jamil wants to know, can you purchase the program with a partner and share the cost?
Yes, you can, but they're gonna have to cash app you. We don't split those payments on our end. One of you will be the master on the account, and you'll share login. You'll share login with them.
All right. So there were some questions about the book. One person wanted to know what was the book that you referenced about hidden values, hidden costs, and does it actually come with the program?
Oh yeah, it comes with the program. It is included with the program. This is not for sale on Amazon outside of the program. These are all the worksheets and the tools that you will go through in the program to develop your mindset as a real estate investor. This workbook is 64 pages. This is 64 pages, and you will complete all of these in the program.
Right. Quite a few people actually asked about that book. So, okay.
Yeah, it is not sold separately.
If you have recently filed for bankruptcy, are you disqualified from, I guess, the program?
So it's actually bankruptcy is literally going to take about 2 years to come off before you can get financed. But you get 2 years of coaching with this program, meaning that you get access to our weekly deal room calls for 2 years. So we did that for people, specifically for people who are in the worst case scenario, which is bankruptcy. So you can come learn now. In bankruptcy, you can still be building your income, building your credit back up, and building your savings. So you can still be getting ready, but we're gonna have to wait until bankruptcy comes off before you're able to actually get financed. But you got 2 years of support in the program. You have, let me be clear, you have lifetime access to the content, but 2 years of coaching. Okay. Once you make your final payment, you have lifetime access to the content, and I update that all the time. Okay, but you get 2 years of coaching support, which is our weekly deal room calls.
Right. And, that's big, right? Because this is not a subscription that lasts forever. You can do a one-time payment and get lifetime access to the content of the program. You could do a 6-month payment, for $4.99 each payment and get lifetime access to the content, or 12 months and pay $299 each month. But then after that, with any of those different options, once you make all your payments, then you do get lifetime access to that particular content of the program. This is interesting. So Brian wants to know, Brian Clay, I am 17 years old and am a senior in high school. What steps should I take since I can't buy real estate?
Brian, you can buy real estate. Okay. Never say I can't, because when you say I can't, you literally shut off the subconscious mind, and that is your powerhouse. Okay. Your conscious mind only processes information at 40 bits per second. Your subconscious mind processes information at 40 million bits per second. When you tell the subconscious mind I can't, and you turn off all that horsepower, you can. You might not be able to get finance, but if you bring the expertise, you can put together deals. So if you come learn this knowledge, right, and now you go to your parents or your elders or whatnot, and you say, look, I need a credit partner, I need somebody that has cash flow, and I need somebody with cash savings. I found this real estate deal that I want to invest in and help you get a 10% return. I'm going to take 5% of that return. Then you can literally put a deal together as a 17-year-old, even though you don't necessarily have the cash flow, or the credit to support it. So you can, and I just want to change your perspective on that.
All right. Chancellor wants to know, can I email you personally, Julian, about my situation? I already own 4 properties, but am stuck.
Great question. Chancellor, that's the type of thing that I would coach you on. If you were emailing me and then I was responding back to you, that's for me considered coaching. And I only coach my students right now, and I don't do one-on-ones. So the best way to get my support is to join and then sign up for a weekly deal room call to be in the hot seat, and I'll be happy to coach you on how to break through to get to that next level.
Someone wants to know, Benji wants to know, what if I own a single family? What should I be doing?
Yep. So like I said, for single family buyers, there are 6 ways to reverse yourself out of that situation. I have a specific module just for you all. Where is it? I have a specific module just for you all on how to reverse out of that. And then there's 5 ways to use FHA twice. It's right here for all the single family buyers that are here. Okay. There it says single family homeowner, 6 ways to escape if you did, and 5 ways to use FHA twice. It is literally a specific module just for you. When you join, start with that module so that you learn what your options are, and then we will pave your path from there.
All right. And just to let everyone know, if I do not get to your question tonight, it is not because I'm ignoring your question or anything like that. We literally have 226 questions in queue right now. So if we were to end, we had 70 questions in queue. What was that? 10 minutes ago, Julian, or something like that. Yeah. But we're just gonna keep going as best as we can. Marshall wants to know, is there a place you suggest that you or I guess that they get pre-approval from?
You're going to probably look for a local lender for the homework assignments. For even if you don't join, just go to your local bank wherever you have your checking or savings account. But when you're ready to actually buy, you're probably going to use a local lender, not one of these big national banks.
All right. And Julian, if you can drop the link in chat again, I can't open chat. It's going to crash my computer
All
over
right,
here.
cool. I got it.
All right, cool. Thanks. Um, Keith wants to know, do you cover dealing with general contractors in the course?
Yep. And how not to get conned by contractors. Show you how to find them, how to vet them, and then how to pay them without ever getting conned. Okay, so all of that. And my real estate Rolodex here in New Orleans, about 66 deep. I'll show you exactly how to build your real estate Rolodex and who you actually need on your real estate Rolodex in whatever market you're in.
Damien wants to know, I have a massive student loan, 6 figures in debt. Is this a problem in buying multiple family units, so multifamily properties?
Approved, brother. It all depends on your income. The banks look at your debt to income ratio. So based on that student loan payment, they usually take about 1% of that as your debt payment. So 1% of $100,000 is 1,000, and then over in any other debts you have, then divide that by your income. I have no clue what your income is. So you have to be in there. They have a front end DTI and a back end DTI, which is your DTI once the mortgage is applied, and you have to fit in within their range. So because I don't know your income and your other debt, I can't determine that. So the best way to do that, brother, is to go get pre-approved this week.
All right, so I want to take a quick moment to congratulate James Bodie, Courtney Himes, Daryl Holmes, Tracy Edwards, Carla J. Wilson, Johnny and Beverly Granderson. They signed up in the last, I guess, 8 minutes or so here. So we appreciate you being a part of the program, and congratulations. It's going to be something that's going to change your life.
Yes.
All right. How do I choose? That's interesting. Julian,
Yes, sir.
Sabrina wants to know, how do they choose the right neighborhood for the multifamily property?
I teach you how to find the market. Again, I teach you the 4 eyes of real estate. How do you find a market, right? Then how do you find a neighborhood? We're looking for the 33 signs of gentrification. Remember, when I show you the weekly challenges, every 2 weeks, you're going to be looking at a new neighborhood, okay? So you're going to keep looking at a new neighborhood until you actually identify one that is a good fit and meets all your criteria. So all of that is in the program. It's finding the right market and finding the right neighborhood.
Olivia wants to know, where are the best multifamily deals right now?
The number one multifamily real estate market right now is Mesa, Arizona, which is 15 minutes outside of Phoenix. What we're finding is that the greatest multifamily markets are typically smaller secondary markets that are outside of a major city. So I give you access to a list of all those markets in the program, but that's what we're finding where the best multifamily deals are.
Aisha says, hey, that's where I'm at. So, okay.
Hey,
So, yeah, go ahead and get in the course, Aisha,
don't
if
be a
that's
renter.
where
Don't
you
be
at.
a renter. Own that.
So Kirk wants to know, and we talked about this, but we'll talk about it again. Do you offer a credit repair course or service? We do offer a credit course, not necessarily a credit repair course or service with this particular program, but we do have a credit course taught. It was a master lecture taught by Castley Johnson, who is a very, very smart brother who has worked at the Federal Reserve and has done things on a much smaller level too. So the big level in terms of grand scheme, looking at things all the way down to personalized. As well. So that course is included. Give me until I believe, let's see, I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow, but at latest Monday to actually put that course with it, or in this particular package in the Black Business School.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in terms of the dates, or will it be late on Friday for us West Coast folks? I assume Rashonda, I assume that you mean the day that the offer ends. So we've extended the offer until Tuesday because that is the 15th, and we know people are getting paid on the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So that means if you're on the West Coast, that is, what is that, 8:59? So 3 hours ahead of time. So 8:59 Eastern or Pacific time, excuse me, is when this deal will end on Tuesday, September 15th.
Mm-hmm.
I currently own 1 single and 2 duplex. Can I still use FHA to get multifamily?
No, we won't use FHA for you to expand your portfolio. Actually, you can use FHA twice. We'd look at your situation and see if one of the exemptions fits you. If not, we'll show you how to scale up in another way.
If I already have a mortgage, but I can afford a down payment and monthly payments, would I qualify for financing?
But if I already have a mortgage, say repeat it again.
If I already have a mortgage, but I can afford a down payment, I guess on another property, and also the monthly payments, would I still qualify for financing?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's see here. Who wants to know, have you included flipping houses into your portfolio, Julian?
Um,
Is this beneficial or should I focus on rental properties first?
yeah, I don't do house flips. I'm a buy and hold investor. And so I do not flip properties. The properties that I have sold, I've sold some duplexes that have appreciated, only to upgrade them to fourplexes using a 1031 exchange. But I do not fix and flip houses.
Should we establish our LLC before our first purchase?
You don't need an LLC. That only confuses things and makes things more expensive and complex. You cannot get financed with NACA, VA, or FHA with an LLC. All right. So you only need an LLC once you get up to like 10 apartments. You do not need an LLC for your first purchase. Okay. I know a lot of people want to start an LLC because they think that they can just go get some free money or they won't have liability. If it's a single member LLC and something happens on your property, the a good lawyer will pierce through what they call the corporate veil. The way to protect yourself is literally just to have the right amount of homeowners insurance on your personal name. You do not need an LLC. That's an extra set of taxes. That's more money you have to pay your accountant. If you do get financed somehow, then it's going to be a 20-year mortgage instead of 30 years, which is going to hurt your cash flow. And it'll also be adjustable rate mortgage as opposed to fixed long-term 30-year. And the interest rate will be higher. So it is not beneficial to get the property in your LLC until you built a big enough portfolio.
All right. Just want to congratulate the people who signed up in the last 4 minutes. So we've had 5 people sign up in the last 4 minutes. Paula Griffith, Tony, Gavin, Aisha, thank you for signing up out of Mesa, Arizona. So Aisha Jim,
Yeah.
Carlisa Smith, and also Leah Tierney.
Beautiful.
Congratulations for signing
Beautiful.
up. And
Welcome, welcome,
uh,
welcome.
yes, yes. So we're all, of course, we are getting more questions. I think last time I said that we were at 220 something. Now we're at 250 something.
257. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Now we're still at 256. Just to let you all know, also, if you still have questions by Sunday, we hope that you sign up, tonight. If you still have questions by Sunday, we're doing a Q&A session on Sunday. What time is that? Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Central, to answer any questions that you still may have regarding the program. But if you're ready to go, please go and start getting a head start on what's actually in the course as well. Pay for your multifamily. What is the credit score needed to get the successful credit approval?
Again, FHA is 660 right now, but NACA is more lenient. So I encourage you, if you feel your credit is an issue, I encourage you to go through NACA.
Corzetta wants to know, how long does it take to reverse out the single family process to get to multifamily process without selling?
Great question. So I have to, there's literally like 20 questions I'd have to ask you. I have to know what your interest rate is on your single family, how much equity do you have, what's the appreciation been in the what's your past few years, what is your short-term financial goal, what is your long-term financial goal, how much savings do you have, what's your income, how much are you able to save every single month, are you married, do you have kids, do they go to school in that particular district, do you like it, etc. There's so many questions I have to ask you. That's what the weekly deal room calls are for, and that's how I coach. So everybody's going to be unique given their answer to that situation.
Nwabuzi asks, we have a good numbered credit score, but very high debt to income ratio.
Yeah.
How can you help us to overcome this to invest in a 3 to 4 plex multifamily building?
Yeah, so probably gonna have to go through NACA if your DTI is high. The only other way to get through a high debt to income ratio is to increase income or decrease debt. So To be honest, I would focus on increasing income, because increasing income can put you in position to decrease debt. And so we would probably have to use H. Chapman's course to acquire a business or build your own business from scratch, et cetera, so that we can add an extra $2,000, $3,000 a month to your income, which would then decrease your DTI despite having high debt. So there's not a fast way around high DTI, but NACA, again, is a little bit more lenient.
Cameron wants to know, is there a grant/gift for enrolling in this program? I've invested into many programs that didn't deliver totally what was promised for the duration it was advertised.
We know that there are crooks in this industry, and we apologize for that because we are in this space. But they are part of the reason why we came in to offer this program to our people, because there were outsiders trying to educate us. And like I said, companies like Fortune Builders charging $30,000 and stealing people's down payments. There are no grants for this program. There's no scholarship. And we're sorry to hear that you went through that. We try to lead with our results and show you the Black folk who have actually closed on properties through this program. But there are no kinds of grants or anything like that for this program.
We've answered this question before, but I think it's worth repeating.
Okay.
Monique, if you have student loans that you are still paying, does this hinder you from getting qualified to buy investment property? Because I know a lot of people out here have student loans. So can you repeat the answer to that question?
If the student loan debt is high, again, they take about 1% of that debt and add that. So let's say you have $100,000 student debt, they'll take about 1%. I think they decrease it to 0.5%. So that would add 500 to your debt side, and it'll affect you. It'll have a negative impact on your debt to income ratio. But if your income is high enough, then you'll still be able to qualify. So it all depends on your income. So I can't tell you whether you qualify or not qualify, because I don't know anybody's income or their other debts.
What if I'm getting divorced? Do I have to wait to invest?
Not if your credit, your cash flow, and your cash savings are enough independently. In fact, this could be a good time for you to invest as you make that transition.
Elise wants to know, how can I finance a multifamily if I don't have any income?
Without income, you should not join the program. If you're unemployed right now, or if you're unemployed right now and anticipate you're just going to ride this thing out and just stay unemployed, then you should not join the program. We cannot help you if you are unemployed and not looking to get employed. If you are temporarily unemployed and you are still looking for work, and you anticipate finding work, then you can join now while you're unemployed, learn, but then you're going to have to get employed, okay, in order to get finance. And you're going to have to be employed for a period of time before the bank will actually finance you. So it's going to be a longer journey for somebody who's unemployed right now, does not have any income. But if you are unemployed and seeking gainful employment again, then you can come learn while you have actually time on your hands to actually do the work, build your real estate Rolodex, start understanding how to evaluate deals, and then still working on the employment side. Okay. We don't work any miracles. There's almost no way that I know of to buy a home with no income. Okay, so if that is your plan to just ride out this unemployment thing, some people are getting paid more on unemployment than they were getting paid at their job. This program is not for you if that's the case.
We had 4 people sign in the last 2 minutes. So Haji, Charles, Minder, Carlita Locke, and Wendy Gadsden. Thank you for signing up, and congratulations and welcome to the program. We're very, very happy to have you. Let's see. V wants to know, just pre-approved for FHA this week. Is it realistic to close by November 1st for a 3 or 4 unit property?
By November 1st, you're the X factor. So I can't determine how you're going to show up. I do believe, like you saw, I have students who closed in 30 days. Some took 4 months. Some who've taken an entire year. So you're the X factor. I cannot dictate how you're going to show up. But if you're really aggressive and you're ready to make this happen, then I do believe that it can happen quickly. It also depends on your market. If you're in New York, it's going to take a little bit longer because that's going to require a lot of research and relationships. It's not going to be as easy as a smaller secondary market to play in New York, where it's very, very competitive. So there's a lot of factors that determine the speed of somebody's ability to close.
All right. And just to reiterate, we're still at 272 questions over here. So we're not going to be able to answer every single question tonight. I just want you to know that. But we're doing our best to answer as many questions as we possibly can. Yep. Let's see. So Frank wants to know, he's 68 years old. Can he still get into this multifamily? Can he still get into this multifamily game? And can you, is there anything he can do? Can he be helped in this situation?
Yeah, there's no age requirement. Frank just needs to figure out his why, because is he doing it for passive income and retirement? Is he doing it for his children or his grandchildren to leave a legacy? Frank just has to get clear on his why, but there's no age requirement. If Frank is not working, is on disability, not disability, retirement income on Social Security, there are some people who get paid 8,000 plus in terms of their retirement. So retirement income doesn't mean it's low. So I have no clue what Frank's is. And it still may be enough to get financed in his particular market, but I don't know what his market is. I don't know what his retirement income is, et cetera. So I don't know what's best for him. I don't know if he has kids. I don't know what his why is. So I can't really say, but Frank, you're gonna have to look in the mirror and say, what do I want? Is my income enough for this market? And who do I want to do? Why am I doing this? And who am I doing this for? So those are some questions that Frank can consider as he thinks about joining.
Right. Do you have to fill most multifamily properties, or do most already come with tenants?
Most of my properties already come with tenants. 9 out of 10 of my properties already had tenants in them.
All right. Sahaji wants to know, what if I'm in forbearance because I lost my job? How do I get myself back in position to obtain a loan? So we'll stop it there.
Hopefully you've been paying during forbearance, because you can go into forbearance and still pay on time and easily get it removed. If you are not paying because you lost your job, it will show up negatively on your credit, and we're just gonna have to wait for it to fall off. I don't think the banks have actually determined how long they are gonna want forbearance to have been in the past to finance. I don't think the banks have actually come up with that. Each lender probably has their own guidelines, so I can't tell you exactly. Some lenders may say, oh, 6 months ago, it's off now, et cetera. So I don't know if there's a particular criteria around forbearance, and each bank can have their own guidelines. So focus on that employment piece right now. Again, you get 2 years of coaching. So we did that so that people can be in messy situations and still clean up and still get closed within that 2 years. So that's why we did it that way. In case anybody comes to us with a messy situation like bankruptcy, forbearance, unemployment, high DTI and student loan debt, we feel like we give you enough time of support to make sure that you can turn that around and still get to the closing room.
Aaron wants to know, can I pay the $299 partially by credit or debit card? So no, well, you have to pay the entire amount by credit or debit card. If you do one-time pay of $24.99, you can pay either by PayPal or by credit card / debit card. If you're using the $299 12-month pay or the $499 6-month pay, then you must use a debit card or a credit card for that. All right, I have no money saved with a credit score of 660. Can this program still work for me?
You may be able to get financed through NACA. You may. So I encourage you to go through NACA. But again, NACA can finance you, but then I teach you how to find the deal. Okay, it's one thing to have the financing lined up, but then I teach you how to find the deal. But again, if you're an adult and you've been working for 5-10 years and you have no savings, there's a hole in your financial system. There's a hole in your financial system. Something is broken. And so we need to figure out what that is and plug it. Because even if you have a bucket that has holes in it, even if you pour the ocean inside of it, it will still leak out everything. So there's a huge leak in your financial system that we have to fix. Even if we acquire an asset that cash flows, there's something broken that we need to plug, or else, there's something broken that we need to plug.
All right. So congratulations to Carol and Alicia. These last two people I've seen. They signed in the last couple of minutes. So congratulations and thank you for being a part of the program. Stacy says that I'm concerned about the maintenance cost on the properties. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we set aside 15% of rent to cover maintenance. So if our rents are $4,000, 15% of that is $600 a month. We put in a separate account that is for CapEx and repair reserves. So we're setting that money aside. We're not pocketing that and living off that and going on vacation off of that. We're setting that money aside for future maintenance that it will occur on a building.
Andrew wants to know, should we wait to buy our dream home? We are using the sale of our house to fund the dream home. So
Yeah,
basically, I think he's asking, go ahead.
yeah, you should wait. I showed you the proof is in the pudding. You get your multifamily first, get one, two, or three of them, and then let them pay for your single family home so that you get your dream home. So you get your dream home for basically free. If you get the dream
LaShawn,
home first, if you get the dream home first, it's going to be harder to finance the multifamily home. So I would get the assets that pay for the dream home first rather than getting the dream home first.
LaShawn, he or she wants to know. Uh, so they were confused by what you were talking about earlier in terms of the bank owning your home instead of you owning your home. So why, when you buy a home, does the bank still own your home and not you actually owning those properties?
You own it with every mortgage payment you make, you own a little bit more and more of it. But if you only put 3.5% down, then the bank owns 96.5. Then you 5%, and then you make that next point of payment, you might own 3.6, then 3.7, then 3.8, etc. So the ultimate goal is for you to own the home, but initially the bank owns it. They own more of it than you do until about year 17. So yeah, it's just being really honest about how that deal is really structured. You aren't the homeowner the moment you get the keys.
Dalamar wants to know, would you suggest me getting a HELOC to build capital for my investing?
A HELOC is only beneficial. It's great to have in your back pocket, but it's only if we're going to use the BRRRR strategy, which is to buy something, rehab it, rent it out, refinance it, so that we can then get the money back out. So with the BRRRR strategy, you buy something that's run down, like Ronique, you buy it at 25,000, you put in 45,000. The after repair value is 175. You get a mortgage for 70% of the after repair value, you pay back the HELOC. So only use your HELOC if you have a way that you can actually pay it back based on the type of investment and property that you bought.
Let's see here. Fidelia wants to know, what level of education are your materials that you are teaching from?
What education level?
Yeah, so yeah.
17, 18-year-old can understand this.
Deborah wants to know, when are repairs a deal breaker?
Well, we use the inspection response to get as much money off as possible on the deal. So the inspection is one of your greatest points of leverage in a multifamily real estate deal. And so we use that to either have the seller fix those things before we close or to get a price reduction. So that's how we structure it. And also you have to be able to stomach it. Like if it's a huge renovation and you don't have the skill set and you don't have the team, then it might not be a good deal for you to start out with. All right. So it depends on the seller's willingness to budge for things that they didn't take care of, and it depends on your ability to actually manage the renovation of the actual project.
Jamil wants to know, I live in Northern California and property is pretty steep. It would be hard to scout properties out of state. How would that work for me?
I bought a property in Oakland, California and I've never set foot in it. The way you do that is through having a great real estate agent on the ground that you trust, whose eyes you trust, and then once you acquire it, having a great property manager. But I've never set foot inside my property in Oakland. So you can buy from a distance, and I've done it successfully.
All right. I think this is a good time, Julian, to
Yeah,
go through the offer again, just to remind everyone in terms of where to
yeah.
sign up. And also on top of that, you have your next weekly deal room call on Sunday. Is that correct?
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So just to recap, everything you get, y'all. Boom, boom. Where is it? So everything you get the multifamily master plan course, which is a step-by-step A through Z program to show you how to think like a real estate investor in the way that I do. You also get the weekly deal room calls, which are every week on Sundays, 50 weeks out of the year. I take 2 weeks off for holidays. Okay, you get 100 of those, so that's 2 years of support. All right, and that's where I hold you accountable. You have to report to me what you did. You can get coached, so you can sit in the hot seat and get coached by me live, and then you have to create your action plan for the upcoming week. You also get to purchase a past deal analyzer, which is how I run the numbers on every single deal I do. You get a ticket to the Wealth and Real Estate Weekend, whether it is live in New Orleans or digital, with Dr. Watkins and I. The Fuel It module, which is how to scale your portfolio after you buy that first property. The REI Tax Secrets, which is how I'm going to save $250,000 on that one property by leveraging the tax laws. Airbnb Overnight Success Program, the Credit Mastery course with Castley Johnson, Ace Chapman's How to Buy a Business, and then you also get Introduction to the Power of Money by Dr. Watkins. So when you put all those things together, the multifamily master plan, the 50-week deal room call, the live event, Fuel It, Tax Secrets, Overnight Success, Purchase to Pass, Credit Mastery, Business Acquisitions, and Introduction to the Power of Money, everything is worth $9,234. You can go to the Black Business School or the Freedom School and see these are the actual prices. And today we put that together for a very special price for you all of $299 per month for 12 months, $499 per month for 6 months, or $2,499 one time for lifetime access. After Tuesday at midnight, we've only extended it due to you all asking due to pay coming in on Tuesday. After that, the price goes up to $3,997. So this is everything you get. We have our weekly, if you join now, I will want you to start orientation, complete that by Sunday. We have our weekly deal room call on Sunday, and I want you to be on there. So that would be the game plan. If you did join, your temporary password, if you can hear me, your temporary password is the word freedom, all lowercase. It should be the word freedom, all lowercase. So whatever email you join with, and the temporary password should be the word freedom, all lowercase, I believe.
Oh, sorry about that. All right. So in the last 2 minutes, we had, I guess, 5 more people sign up. So Gayton, Wendell, Morris, Cosetta, and Damaris, thank you for enrolling. Congratulations. And we look forward to having you as a part of this wonderful program and helping you to get free through multifamily real estate. All right, so we're still up to 283 questions. I've answered 4, or I guess we've answered 43 so far. So obviously, we won't be able to
some of them got to be duplicates. So
yeah. Some of them are definitely duplicates as well, but we actually did go through 43 specific questions. It's a nice call, but we're still gonna keep going for how long? How much longer you want to go, Julian? Answering questions.
I'm down to go for another 10 minutes.
All right, cool. So we'll go for another 10 minutes answering questions. So Michelle wants to know, I'm on an 18-month VLOA. Can I still get approved for a loan?
She's on what?
VLOA. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, that's I don't know what that is.
All right.
Vacation leave of absence, vacation leave of absence.
Leave of absence, maybe. Yeah, so leave of absence.
I don't want to answer it because I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't want to answer it, but you're going to need proof of income, and it's going to have to show consistency. So,
voluntary. So voluntary leave of absence.
I don't know if she's getting paid still or not. So she's going to need consistent pay in order to get financed.
Okay. All right. We talked about this before, but I lost my home to foreclosure. Will I still qualify for financing, grants, etc.?
Yep. As soon as the foreclosure falls off, you'll be able to get right back into the game, and we'll do it right this time.
So Gwendolyn wants to know, is this course a part of the Black Business School program? I'm in this program and I have to budget my payments. So it is one course a part of many within the Black Business School. So the Black Business School, we have courses on many different subjects, including stock market investing, which is of course led by Dr. Boyce Watkins. Julian's leading, our real estate courses, and this is part of that particular sector. And then we also have a lot of courses on entrepreneurship as well. So yes, this is one course within the Black Business School, but we do have many other offerings in addition to the multifamily master plan and I guess the Black Real Estate Investors Group.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, this is interesting. Julian, so Shar wants to know, when you purchase a multifamily home through NACA, I was informed by NACA that I must always live in the property. If not, I must sell if I want to rent both sides out. Would you say the FHA would be a better choice?
It all depends. When we're ready to build our portfolio beyond NACA, we just refi out of the NACA loan and move forward from there. So whether you should use FHA or NACA depends on your cash saving, your credit, and your cash flow at this moment in time to get started. But when we're ready to scale up, we're going to have to refi out of probably both of those either way. So it's whatever's going to get you in the game is what we're going to use to start with.
And Shar also wants to know, so can I pay one of the plans and then pay the complete balance off within a month? So yes, you will have up to 3 months to complete that payment to lifetime access at the one-time payment price. So for example, let's say you started today at $299 for the 12-month plan, but after the first month you realize, or after the first payment, you realize that you just want to go ahead and buy the program outright. What we would do is deduct that $299 from the $24.99 price that we have advertised this week for you to make that investment.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about LLCs a little bit in terms of complicating it, but what if someone already has an LLC? Should they use their?
It doesn't help. It doesn't help with anything in terms of getting finance for real estate. Yeah, it's irrelevant. Look, y'all, I can go create an LLC in 15 minutes. I can go get an EIN number and get incorporated in Delaware in 15 minutes. In chat, let me know how many of you would finance me $500,000 for an LLC that I just started 15 minutes ago. Even with you knowing how my expertise in multifamily real estate, how many of you would finance me for $500,000 for an LLC that I just created 15 minutes ago? No, it needs a track record, it needs history, it needs its own credit, it needs to show income, right? It needs to show its ability to manage debt. So having an LLC is not necessary for this process, and it actually makes it harder for you. And it makes it harder for you if you're trying to use it to get finance.
All right. Congratulations to Olive, Verena, and Tyson, who all signed up in the past 2 minutes. So that seems to be the magic number for getting multiple people into the program. Yeah. That's not a joke, y'all. That's literally 2 minutes. So people are really taking to this and resonating with Julian because he has great information, and not just information, because Julian talked about that before. It's not the information that's being sold; it's a transformation of your life through this particular program. Because I know I've signed up for a lot of courses and did not complete those particular courses, but having when I have, I guess, that hand holding and knowing where to go to ask questions and get my questions answered, that's what really takes it over the top in terms of getting value out of a particular course. So the content is one thing. Julian, as you see, is a master at the presentation of content. But in addition to that, we're also want to be masters and are masters at helping our students get results in the transformation as well. So Nicole wants to know, is the extension to the 15th for all options? Yes, that is correct, Nicole. All right. Someone wants to know, is there a different way to go about this if there are a veteran?
Oh yeah, VA loan is the best loan in the entire mortgage in the entire probably world. So we would leverage your VA loan to every extent possible of it. So yeah, I showed you Terrence got the fourplex in Pittsburgh using his VA loan, and Demetrius got the fourplex in Killeen, Texas using his VA loan. So we're definitely going to use your VA loan.
All right. Giselle wants to know how long does the process, or how long will this process take?
Again, you are the X factor. So it's set up for 12 weeks to really download my mindset as a real estate investor. But you may say, Julian, I'm aggressive. I got free time. I'm on the 6-week plan. You may say I'm on the 24-week plan. You may say I'm on the 48-week plan. It's all dependent on you and how you show up. I can't control that. I can't determine that. But all the information is there and ready for you. And it's set up for 12 weeks. But you may be aggressive and more aggressive than you may be more aggressive than most. So that's up to you in terms of how you show up.
All right. Where do you go for? That's interesting. So Chanel wants to know, Julian, where do you go for connections on off-market deals outside of the group?
Oh yeah, so there's about 15 different sources. They're personal relationships that we look for to find off-market deals, and I teach them all in the program. Okay, so of course you got your lender, you got your agent, you got wholesalers, but there's 12 others that are key that I get. One in particular that I get a lot of deals coming to me from that people overlook.
Monique wants to know, once paid in full, is there a second fee to repair the credit? So just to be clear, we have a credit course within the Black Business School, but it's not a credit repair course. Talking about all the different things you need to do in terms of like getting things removed from your what's on I guess your credit bureaus, that type of thing. It's discussed, but it's not an in-depth step-by-step walkthrough in terms of I have a 500 credit score and I want to get up to a 660. But the course is definitely good for people who want to know how credit works, and in addition to that, tangible things that you can do to keep your credit strong and to improve it over time.
Yeah, you may have to pay for credit repair, y'all. If it's stopping you from acquiring this specific asset, you may have to pay for credit repair. All right.
Nyla wants to know, with the course, can we request a hard copy of the book if it only comes in ebook form?
Yes, ma'am, you can. The hard copy is only $10. It's $5 to print and $5 to ship. And yes, you can order a physical copy if you'd like to. That's the only, and for everybody that's out here, that's the only additional cost. You don't have to pay. We have the online version. It comes as a fillable PDF. If you want the physical copy, that is literally the only additional cost you would have to pay this course. This course has no hidden fees to it whatsoever. Of course, you would pay for your plane ticket to New Orleans and your hotel and your food. And if you want a physical copy, $10 if you want a physical copy of this, but you do get the PDF workbook, if a fillable PDF workbook, if you don't want to pay the $10. It's up to you.
All right. I think that's a good place to stop with questions. We answered 53 tonight with these questions. We still have about 285 open. So don't fret, don't worry. We're going to have a follow-up session on Sunday night at 6 p.m. Yep, at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And we will be answering more questions at a time if you still have questions by then. But Julian, do you want to go ahead and wrap us up for tonight?
Yeah, so with that, I just want to say thank you all for being here. Like, there's literally hundreds of you still here right now, which says a lot about who you are. We're almost 3 hours in, and it just shows that you really, really want this. This is the Above Ground Railroad, and I'm the conductor leading you on the pathway to freedom. I'm committed to freeing 300 people through this path, and I know over the course of my lifetime, I'm going to get to probably 10,000. Right now, imagine being on the corporate plantation for 40 years, and on your deathbed, somebody said, the Mason-Dixon line was right there. Imagine being in Maryland and somebody saying the Mason-Dixon line is right there over the hill on that horizon. And you didn't know that for 40 years, and you didn't realize how close it was. Literally, some of you who are here tonight are literally 3 months away from achieving rent and mortgage freedom, and you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. And so with the Mason-Dixon line being so close, now that you're aware of it, I want to help you get there. There are some pitfalls and some traps along the way, some rivers that we have to cross, some dogs we have to outrun, etc. Like these lenders, they're predatory lenders. The bank is not your friend. Okay, so we got to be able to navigate those obstacles to make sure that we can get everybody to freedom faster, safer, and easier. And I believe that as your conductor, I can help you get there faster, safer, and easier than you would if you went alone. So join us. Well, we got another crew coming. They said Harriet came down and she could have freed more if they would have known that they were enslaved. Many of you are dealing with rent bondage and mortgage bondage, and you didn't even know it, and or you know it. And so now it's time to get free. And this is the only pathway that I know to get free from rent and mortgage bondage. So come join us, y'all. Again, that's theblackreigroup.com, theblackreigroup.com. You have till Tuesday at midnight Eastern Standard Time to make that decision, but don't wait. All right.
All right, and just give some more shout outs before we get out of here. I think I stopped with maybe Tyson. So in the last few minutes, Tyson, thank you, Marva, Chris Felton, Vernon, Jason and Barbara Smith, Karen Bennett, Dominica, and also Tanya as well for signing up. We really appreciate you and congratulations. And we look forward to having you as a part of the program. So on that note, we'll go ahead and end this webinar. I don't know if Boyce is around. I think he's the host, so I have to go in the back end.
Cool.
Ended the back way. Yeah. Right. But all right, everybody. Well, good night.
Love y'all. Peace.
All right, peace.